Very good evening. Welcome to the MODUS Super Series. It's Friday night, which means we're going to finalise the final 3 spots at the Live Lounge Portal for tomorrow night's finale. Chris Mason is here with me up here on the balcony, and let's begin by reflecting on what we saw this afternoon, because what we saw was a real charge from Carl Hamilton. Yeah, he was outstanding. It was interesting hearing the interview at the end with Murph, where he said he thought 4 out of 5 might do it and ended up winning 5 out of 5, player of the day. He most certainly did. And he's going to be joined by Kevin Painter at finals night. I believe we can have a look at the league table now for you. There it is on your screen. Kevin Painter, well, there was a point where Ryan de Vrede could have won by a scoreline to go through. Didn't do that, and then Painter, well, he picked up the pieces and he managed to make his way in. Yeah, de Vrede paid the price for missing out, losing a couple of matches 4-3, and there was some games where he was well below the level we certainly would expect to see him, no doubt himself. But it was an exciting group in the end, and Fran's on 10 points. He'll be desperately disappointed, but Kai Fan Lung bounced back very well today after a disastrous day yesterday. And he improved as the day went on. We were really impressed towards the end, weren't we? Yeah, and I think, you know, there was no secret coming into this. He wasn't playing very well anyway. But what this gives you an opportunity is a minimum of 10 matches, and you can learn a lot about yourself over the course of a Group B or a Group C. So that was how the table lay. Let's have a look at how the group shaped up numerically speaking. This is Group C by the numbers. The 152, the high check from Kai Fan Lung, but the standard, it has to be said, was below what we're used to expecting here at the Super Series. Yeah, it was poor. There's not enough glitter. It was poor, and an overall average of 78.01. And I'm not sure whether it was just the dynamic of the group or whether the group felt pressure, because we know it's only 2 spots and it's it is tough to get through. But the overall standard was well below what we'd expect to see. Can it be a case of, and I imagine you may have been in this scenario before, where something just feeds onto other people and it can just drag you up or down as a consequence? Yeah, most definitely. If you're involved in a game and it's scrappy, you'll sort of play to type. You'll either get out of the blocks quick and dominate a game like that, or you just get drawn into a real scrappy affair, and that's exactly what we saw over the course of a couple of days. I mean, there was some good moments, there was some good numbers, there was 11 darters and some great finishing, but overall people seem to the players seem to just get dragged down by each other in the end. So that was what happened earlier on today. Let's remind you what happened last night as we conclude Group B. This was how Night 1 panned out. Jack couldn't quite get up the hill. Pointless after his first day, but he improved on his performances match after match. As for Ian Consman, slightly disappointing day in comparison to what we've seen from him for the rest of the week. He picked up just 2 points from his 4 matches. As for Mike Gillett, in a perfectly uniformed table, where he finished the night very strongly. He picked up 2 wins on 4 points and in 3rd position. Well, it's the first time we've seen Sean McDonald here in Portsmouth at the Super Series, and we saw 3 wins from his 4 matches. Some solid stuff from the Granite Scot. But the question is, can Cam be caught? 4 wins from 4. He is the favourite to progress his way through to finals night tomorrow. So that is what we saw last night at the Super Series. Cam Crabtree was really impressive, wasn't he? Yeah, rock solid throughout the course of the night, and when things got a little sticky for him, he found a way to win, and that is exactly, he's an example of what you got to do on a Thursday and Friday night. He wasn't at his best, but he just made sure he won every game. Most certainly. So, Sean McDonald, what did you make of his first night? Yeah, okay. I think what we've seen of him in Southampton, we probably expected a little bit more, but he's not been playing a lot of darts right now, so I expect we'll see a little bit better from him tonight. As for Mike Gillett, we saw him slowly get through the session, but then towards the latter ends, he really did improve. Yeah, he was a bit up and down. He was another one that sort of got dragged into matches and probably lost at least 1 match that he probably felt he should be winning. But winning 2 out of 4 on your opening night, minimum requirement, keeps you well in the mix. As you can see, if he wins 2 from 4 tonight, things go for him. He could well qualify with 8 points. Was Ian Consman the big disappointment for you yesterday evening? Yeah, for sure. I rate him. When he's on, but it's just no B game whatsoever. Like there's no default game where he can average
85, 88. It's either 90 odd or 70 odd, and you know that's something that he will have to address, because it's obviously something between the ears. It's nothing to do with the fundamentals or the throw or anything else. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to average at 100. You know, if you can average 100 over 5, 6, 7 legs, then you can play the game. So for me, it must be just a psychological aspect to his game, which can be addressed.
So let's have a look and see what the bookmakers think about tonight's proceedings at the Live Lounge. This is the outright betting. Cam Crabtree, the 2-5 favourite, as he has been throughout the whole course. But Sean McDonald could go under the radar tonight. Yeah,
Carl Hamilton was 40-1 this morning to win that Group C, and he went on to do it. So you never know. Maybe that's a bit of a sign. I think it's highly unlikely. Crabtree, yeah, 2-5. That's bang on the money. I think if he wins 2 games tonight, he tops the group.
It's been the sort of week where the only thing you can make up is the fact that anything can happen.
Yeah, well, that's generally the case. We see it frequently, because I think that's the nature of our sport, and players blow hot and cold. That's just the way it is. We're dealing with small fractions, tiny margins, and when you've got a sport like that, anything can happen.
Well, let's see what you've decided to pick tonight. This is Aces Acker for Friday night here at the Super Series. It's a 7.12-1 treble. Well, Aces Acker has been landing this week.
It has. We've been going all right, fortunately. Yeah, Gillett Conterman. I think this one will be a close affair, so over 5.5. So I can see that going 4-2 or 4-3 either way. Conterman against Crabtree. Total 1-8 is over 1.5. Again, I think that match has the potential to have 5, maybe 6 legs in it, so that should be covered. And then McDonald against Gillett. Gillett over 1.5, 1/8 is, and again, that's based on the fact when I match their stats together, it should go 6 or 7 legs.
So if you are going to have a flutter, 18+, begambleaware.org. We're going to kick off tonight's proceedings in the same vein that we finished last night. We're going to see Cam Crabtree in action up against Jack Hill. Jack, who got better as the night went on, slowly, incrementally improved.
Yeah, you could see how nervous he was. He's never played in an environment like this. He's only been playing Super League around a year or so. So it was impressive. In each match, in increments, small increments, he got better and better and better, and very nearly won the final match of the night.
Well, it's been a good day of darts already. We're going to continue it here at the Super Series. Game 1 is Crabtree up against Hill. Chris Mason is going to join Chris Murphy in the commentary box. Hello, Chris.
Hi, Henry. Evening, everybody, and welcome along to the final session for qualifying for finals night. Cam Crabtree is almost there. The 19-year-old from Croydon, Challenge Tour winner, a man who hit a 9-darter on the Challenge Tour last year, is, well, not quite a win away. If he beats Jack Hill here, he will move on to 10 points. There still would be the possibility that 3 other players finish on 10 points as well, but it's a big outside punt, that one. And even if it did happen, you'd expect Crabtree, having amassed a healthy leg difference, to still safely get through. So he could do the bulk of his work in one match. As for Jack Hill, he has his work cut out.
Cam to throw first. Game on.
Justin Bradshaw gets the action underway, our referee for this evening. He did get better as the night went on here. He lost 4-0, then 4-1, then 4-2, then 4-3 in the curtain closer to Crabtree. Nice to see him come down the other side of that hill with the exact opposite in wins. That would be some symmetry and little kind of points to bolster his bid. Only Cam Crabtree, Chris, was actually better on the finishing last night than Jack Hill, although he didn't get an awful lot of darts at double. He was 38% higher than anybody but Cam.
Yeah, it felt like that way as well. If he was scoring well enough to get an opportunity, more often than not, he was taking it.
It was strange, wasn't it? He seemed more nervous on the trebles than he did on the doubles, particularly in the early part of the night. But now he's had a night, and that could make a big difference. As for Crabtree, he was, well, a cut above the rest, not just in terms of results,
59.
winning all of his matches, but his average for the night was 7 points higher than the next best, and then there was 7 points between all the other 4.
58.
Yeah, he was the standout player, very much like Carl Hamilton today, I suppose. Just had that little bit extra.
Him in the background
85.
Does do that from time to time. And I suppose that the players in this group, like Conterman and Hill himself, can look at what Hamilton did this afternoon and try and draw some
140.
inspiration from it.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you mentioned the 40-1 price on Conterman. That'd be some double if it came off, wouldn't it?
85. Cam, you require
Someone
86.
just had a pound on it.
Well, 86 on offer for Crabtree to claim the first leg in this one. Well, he may not stay there. Might wish he had now.
Yeah, having a little smile to himself.
29.
And that's what happens sometimes when you
Jack,
overthink
you
things
require
and play it safe.
158.
He's still chuckling away in the background.
Nice dynamic to the group this evening.
48.
Nice group of
Cam,
friendly
you
lads
require
that are all
57.
supporting each other. I'm not sure whether that'll be the case if it gets a little bit tasty later.
37.
Well, we mentioned Jack
Jack, you
Hill's
require
finishing.
110.
If he gets a treble here, he'll get a dart at double. Scratch that. As we said, it hasn't been the doubles that have been the problem. The trebles and staying straight, etc. have been
27.
the issue for him. And it
Cam,
looks
you
like
require
another
20.
case of early night nerves for the Barnsley boy.
Well, his attitude really should be
Game shot
pretty
and the
much out
first
of it.
leg. Cam Crabtree.
and get that free rolling mentality just to try and enjoy it. That was the big thing I thought
Second
last
leg is
night.
Jack
Just
to throw
enjoy it a
first.
little bit
Game
more.
on.
He has obvious expectations, but that can be equally as damaging to just trying to enjoy
137.
yourself.
Yeah, as they might say in Barnsley. Now to lose. Or a bit of head tapping there from Cam Crabtree. He's not happy with how he started this match.
137.
We've seen it many times from him on the fly where he can just switch through the gears. And he's maybe just not
60.
quite switched on.
I'm just saying before you came down, he's not 100% safe with a win, but he's as good as a win away. It would take everybody else apart from Jack Hill then to finish on 10 points
134.
for there to be any possibility he doesn't make it through. So he'll know that if he wins this match,
And he has to play them as well.
yeah,
So
exactly, that he will effectively be the fourth name on the list of finals night.
100.
Chris Landman, the Group A winner, joined today by Kevin Painter and Carl Hamilton, as discussed.
140.
yeah, great for Carl. And you could actually see the genuine emotion and relief and a great interview with yourself up on the balcony, just taking it all in.
60.
And like he said, listen, he just wanted to
Cam, you
qualify.
require
That's the
90.
main job done. What happens tomorrow night? Well, nobody knows. We've seen plenty of upsets before.
Well, 2 legs in a row. Jack Hill's been on a big finish, and Cam Crabtree has
58.
opted not to leave the
Jack,
ball at
you
the end of
require
a shot because he
144.
doesn't think that he'll take it out. And 2 legs in a row. Cam has been correct.
58. Cam, you require 32. Game shot on the second leg. Cam Crabtree.
He has been accompanied by a good friend and practice partner and a man that we've seen here at the
Third leg
Super
is
Series
Cam to
doing
throw
great
first.
stuff. Owen
Game
Bates over the last couple of days. Cam Crabtree.
Yeah, that must be lovely to have a practice partner of similar age and
on.
ambition.
100.
Yeah, and it must be good to have a practice partner of similar ability as well for whatever stage you're at in your development of darts.
Yeah, they're nicely matched. I think.
42.
Of course, Dev Tour's not this weekend, next weekend,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Difficulty is the better you get, the harder it is to find someone of
96.
similar ability who'll practice with you.
Yeah, well, you want someone just a little bit better, but not someone that will sort of demoralise you. Someone who will
41.
put you in those situations where you've got to take those clutch finishes out, and then they just become second nature.
Yeah, speaking of clutch finishes, don't think we've seen any
105.
better than the two from Chris Landman earlier in the group on Wednesday against Arjen Konterman, who we'll see in the next match. He took out a 1-2-9 double finish when Konterman could have beat him and gone top of the group. Then he took out a 1-2-1 to win the group in a similar position.
Yeah. Yeah, with his opponent on a double.
58. $45. Cam, you require 142.
Try and grab a word with Owen, aren't we, at some point?
Yeah, we've got our special agent Deacon on the job.
85.
That's almost perfect preparation. Dev tour and then straight into this.
137.
Be well,
Cam, you require
well prepared.
57.
Crabtree might be starting his preparation for finals night this evening. I mean, it's perfect for him, isn't it? He wins this match,
37.
effectively is there, he knows that. The rest of the
Jack,
night
you require
practice.
96.
Yeah, well, we discussed this with this being the final match of the night last night. He would have been thinking, right, this is a 4-pointer.
55.
And it was 4-3 last night. It looks
Cam,
like
you
it's going to be
require 20.
a rather heftier win for Cam Crabtree, despite putting in what so far has been his worst performance. in
Game
this
shot
group.
and the third leg. Cam Crabtree.
He's starting in a similar way to how he started last night, rather than the way he ended it.
Fourth
which
leg
is
is Jack to throw
disappointing.
first. Game on. $60.
Just give you a sort of funny image, that, doesn't it? When Crabtree does those practice starts behind, it's like we're at some sort of open event where there's another match going on.
Yeah, well, it was something I picked up on. He can, on release, he can sometimes open
57.
the hand to the right, and it's something he must have also been able to spot by watching the matches back on YouTube. And I think what he's trying to do is just
41.
find a way of getting a rhythm where he doesn't do it.
Well, that was evident anger from Jack Hill there. We did see that during last night as well. He set high expectations
96.
of himself, and he's beating himself up.
And
85.
every player is nervous in the opening match of the session. But when you think of the lack of experience, I can't imagine the anxiety
140.
he's feeling, because it's tough.
Yeah, well, just a reminder for those who maybe didn't tune in last night, Jack Hill has only been playing darts at any competitive level for the last 18 months.
60.
Only played county darts for the first time last year.
No, not county. Super League, wasn't it?
Super League, sorry, yeah.
Not even county, where he'd have had some stage experience.
Yeah. And has only really, aside from that, played ADC stuff, which is
58.
open to any amateur player. Ended up winning an event, and that's why he qualified for the Super Series.
$125.
Yeah,
Cam,
tough
you
county
require
to get into, to be fair,
150.
Yorkshire, isn't it?
Yeah, not half.
Well, he may get a chance to just get a leg on the board here, but it's all about staying straight when he comes back. One treble gets him a go at the ball.
94. Jack, you require 130.
When he plays in match number 8, Jack, it'd be interesting to see if we could grab a
60.
word or two with him. Maybe
Cam, you require 56.
Henry could grab a couple of minutes with him on the balcony, just to
Game shot and the
have
match.
an opportunity
Cam
to
Crabtree.
reflect on his experiences. Cam Crabtree makes it 5 out of 5, moves on to 10 points. For me, he is now pretty much safe. There, the average is 80.16, 71.83, 3 140s, and pretty par for the course, 33.33% on the doubles. When we come back, Mike Gillett against Arjen Konterman.
And so Cam Crabtree keeps up his impeccable record in Group B, beating Jack Hill by 4 legs to 0. Second up on our menu for Friday night here at the darts, it's Mike Gillett up against Ian Conton. We've already seen a fantastic Friday full of sport. Let's see whether the darts will continue to deliver with the two Chris's.
Thanks, Henry. Well, job done for Cam Crabtree. Actually, Murph was just looking through the scenarios, or what the scenarios would be or have to be for him not to quite, and there actually is a scenario, but it involves him losing all of his matches and a lot of 4-0s.
Yeah, a lot of 4-0s, him losing all of his and every possible result going a certain way. So it's very unlikely, but we play that much darts here at the Super Series that some weeks those kind of things are going to happen. I'm still waiting for the week where we get all of the players tied on the same points at the end of a group, because I think that's possible as well.
First leg, it's Mike to throw first. Game on.
Well, in this group, this is a big match, because if Mike Gillett wins it, he puts 4 points between himself and Ian Conton, and then that becomes a very, very difficult deficit to overturn.
59.
If Conton wins, then that race between him, McDonald, and Gillett is well and truly on.
Yep. As we were discussing it
80.
earlier, we've seen the levels that Conton can play at, and it may not happen, but I certainly wouldn't be shocked if he just produced some of the high-level darts we've seen in spells over the course of Group A. You know, we were waxing lyrical about how good Landman was. Well, this man was
60.
1 win away against Landman of going to the top of the table.
Yeah, and it took that stunning 1-2-9 checkout to stop him.
Yeah.
However, it was low-level darts when he met Mike Gillett yesterday, it has to be said.
162.
That's high-level stuff from the Welshman. Yeah, Conton averaged just 61 in the last match yesterday. His highest average of the week,
96.
102.
Mike
Yeah, that's some range, isn't it?
140.
Yeah. Yeah, 40 points between his highest and lowest.
I wonder if there's ever been a gap that big. I'd be very
74.
surprised.
Yeah, we have had players in the past that have
84.
posted the odd average in the 60s,
Mike,
but
you
they've
require
very rarely
66.
troubled the ton if they have.
Yeah, exactly. Tidy start this from Gillett. Double 18 for a 14.
48.
Well, I suppose the only criticism is it's an issue with that route when your opponent's not on a finish, leaving double 9 in the end. Might even think about
76.
splitting it. He did split
Mike,
a couple
you
of
require
shots
18.
yesterday. Let's see how he feels early on. I didn't mean to split it.
10.
Just like to see
Ariane, you
just
require
raise his head a little
105.
bit. He
53.
doesn't look confident, and the players will
Mike, you require 8.
feast on that. Like a wounded animal and a pack of lions chasing him.
It was a solid start in the scoring, but this is
Game shot and the first leg.
wobbly
Mike
finishing
Gillett.
from Mike Gillett. He'll be relieved to have crossed the line without allowing Ariane to double that.
Yeah, but Ariane had 18
Second
darts
leg is
and not
Ariane
one
to
of
throw
them had a
first.
double.
Game on.
Yeah, we did see in that last match
45.
against Gillett a lot of really, really loose darts, and he was getting frustrated. I think you suggested he might have started trying too hard in the game.
100.
Yep, easy done. We've all done it. We'll all do it again.
Well, sometimes they just miss, don't they? And if you think they've missed for a
60.
reason, there's a tendency to then change things, and you've lost what got you good in the first place.
Yeah, you then forget, well, how was I doing it before? It's a vicious circle.
96.
About trust. You've got to trust in your throw.
95.
When things like that are happening, it doesn't help either. A well-thrown dart and just skids off, takes a bit of a deflection and finds the corner of treble 5.
93.
Again, dominant in the scoring stakes, but Conterman could change that here with a big visit.
97.
Needed a couple of trebles to get to a finish first, and it's advantage Gillett against the darts.
Yeah, he's stolen them, hasn't he? Certainly has now.
81.
Such a steady player, isn't he? Always competitive when he comes to the Super Series, Mike Gillett. Type of player that you would probably mark down for a third place finish in Group B, but then a danger on finals
Mike
night.
Uruguay, 131.
Well, finals nights very rarely pan out as we anticipate. Although Luke Littler did win it last Saturday night, he was in a world of trouble against Nathan Girvin in the semi.
Yeah, I think in this series, though, we actually have
75.
had more Group A
Ariane
winners win
64.
finals night than ever before.
Yeah. Well, if this goes...
Game
Well,
shot in the second
a
leg.
whole lot
Ariane
happier.
Conterman.
18 dart hold.
Third leg, it's Mike to throw
Give him
first.
a
Game
bit of a
on.
boost.
It's closing in, ladies and gentlemen. Champions Week. Just one more week of qualifying. Finals night on Saturday will determine the 11th place.
99.
And then we have another 12 contenders next week. We're going to announce which 12 later in tonight's show as well.
It's a good 12.
77.
You on debut?
And a fair few well-known names as well.
59.
You can join us on any given Saturday night
100.
here at the MODUS Live Lounge in Portsmouth. We're on London Road. Doors open at 6:30. Play gets underway around 7:30. Normally done and dusted by 11:30.
95.
If you want to join us and you're into your tech, here's our QR code. Give that a scan.
100.
Straight to the website where you can book your ticket. It's just £1 booking fee. Come and join us. If not, www.dartshop.tv. All your ticket details there. Also, tickets to the Seniors Masters in Yeovil.
44.
Yeah, also, if you do follow us on social media, or if you don't, do follow us at MSS Darts on Twitter. You have a lovely competition for
60.
the Grand Finals night, Champions Week. The pinned tweet will give you all the information, but it is a VIP package. Tickets for
44.
two, a hotel for two, 10
Mike
bar
Uruguay,
tokens,
129.
and a dartboard signed by the finalists as well.
What a night out that will be. Ticket availability for Champions Week is already sparse.
43.
Yeah, you might
Ariane
have to enter the
Uruguay,
competition.
Yeah, just to get in.
136.
Another. Oh, great darts. Great
Game
finish
shot in the
by
third
Ariane
leg.
Conterman,
Ariane
who suddenly
Conterman.
is finding his feet again. A 136 to turn this tie around.
Fourth leg is Ariane to throw first. Game on.
Few of our usual correspondents, Chris, have been in touch on the
140.
Twitter already tonight. Lee, thanking us for our birthday wishes
Very welcome, Lee.
last night. He also asked the question, based on what happened with Arsenal in the football, I'm sure a few of
80.
you watched that before switching over to watch more live sport here. He said, and I'm going to throw this one to you because I daren't even say
100.
a name. What is the biggest darts bottling moment, as it looks like Arsenal might be about to bottle a league title?
59.
I mean, I can think of a few comeback wins. Sometimes when you say bottling, it takes the credit away from the player that came back, but there have been a few capitulations, haven't there?
140.
Yeah, but you don't very often hear
180.
to it
Ariane
because
Uruguay,
it's-
121.
It's a combination of many factors.
Speaking of combinations,
85.
wow, that would have been back-to-back ton-topping checkouts.
I mean, you very rarely see a comeback where there's a massive drop in the player's level. It's usually
140.
down to the
Ariane, you require
opponent
36.
finding another gear.
Game shot in the fourth leg. Ariane
In
Konterman.
those situations, it's very much out of your hands. If you can't, then go with the player. And we've, I wouldn't.
Fifth leg, it's Mike to throw
look at
first.
James Wade
Game
against,
on.
Scott Waits.
Yeah.
That was just a collapse in. James Wade's got
97.
he's one of the best under pressure.
Well, he's been on the other end, hasn't he, against Mervyn King?
Yeah, there you go. So you can't really have it both ways. I mean,
97.
So the answer is, Lee, we've just had it. Chris Mason's bottled the question.
well, I don't think there's a. Give me an example.
Yeah, no, I think it's fair. I think if
180.
there was a match that would spring to mind where a player had missed double after double, leg after leg,
Yeah.
from a seemingly unassailable
140.
position, then that would be the answer. But there hasn't been one.
No, I had me in the semi-finals of the Worlds, 2-0 up, 4-2 up.
100.
I've wired a double 8 for a 10, and then 11 and a 12, and they're all within a whisker of it. I've missed another double right on the wire.
180.
If I've missed it by
Mike
6
Require,
inches
124.
and nearly dislocated my shoulder, then I suppose you could call that a choke.
Well, Ariane Konterman is showing his bottle here
56.
because the first
Ariane
leg
Require, 84.
looked like he was going to carry on like the end of the night last night, but he's taken that 136. He's just at a 180 to leave this.
72.
Hasn't yet
Right,
finished the job.
Has he bottled that?
Mike Require, 68.
And it's always people that have never really done anything under pressure or understand what it's like in a...
Yeah, it's an interesting phrase. I'd actually turn it around the other way and look at the positive and say, what's the best comeback?
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, that was Chris Mason when he got his darts out here at the Super Series. We all
Game
know
shot
that.
in the fifth leg.
Well, Konterman
Mike Gillett.
was looking like getting over the line after a slow start, but now Gillett is back in it at 3-2. But it is the Dutchman's darts.
Sixth leg
in
is
this
Ariane to
really
throw first.
important
Game on.
Early tussle.
Yeah, he's missed 2 darts at a double. The double 6 couldn't have been any closer.
Well, now I've
77.
I've got to blame Lee for this on Twitter, but we've really opened the can of worms because I've now got people telling me what the biggest bottle is. People are now tweeting in, saying what they think it is.
An example, my debut on
81.
TV, I was super nervous, so I bottled it because I had no experience.
85.
Yeah, I think only the player themselves could really honestly say whether that was it or not. I think some players actually misread it. They say they bottled it when they didn't.
42.
Michael Smith was the one, wasn't he? Because he kept getting to major finals. Now, I don't call that bottling.
No, if you're a bottle job, how'd you get to a final in the
85.
first place? And, right back in the early stages, he's missed a bullseye he's moved the ball pretty much. You don't get that close if you're a bottle job. But like I say, it's always from people. Find me an individual sportsman that maybe can explain it to me, but it's always, it's always the case of people who think they understand the intricacies of
42.
individual sport at a high level when they don't.
There we go. Interesting question, but we're going to turn it around and look on the bright side.
Absolutely. I don't know why there's a focus on the negatives all the time. Think about
60.
the incredible bottle it took to fight back.
There have been some great fight backs. Don't think we can categorise the ones here as such a short format. We've seen some moments of real tenacity even this week. And Ariane Konterman is showing fight here.
96.
Yeah, I'm loving
Ariane
this.
Require, 87.
Great to see him really digging in. Double 5, another match dart.
77.
That one was questionable.
Mike Require,
Bottled it,
97.
Chris.
or was it badly thrown?
Well, 97 for Gillett. To force a decider. Well, he could go double-double. In that spot, it might be the right choice.
42. Ariane Require, 10.
Double 5 again. Over adjusts. Double 2.
6.
Can't get there yet.
Mike Require, 55.
That's at least 5 mismatch starts.
Well, the one was a burner dart, wasn't it, on the split? But yeah.
Yeah, he had
35.
one at 12s and one at 6s, didn't he, in the previous leg?
Ariane,
off
you
the back of
require
the
4.
84.
Game.
But he does
shot,
get there in the
and
end,
match.
and that
Ariane
is a
Konterman.
result that means we are going to have a real race in this group. Cam Crabtree is dominating the group, but Ariane Konterman has suddenly joined the party. That, for him, means he goes level on points with the man he's just beaten, Mike Gillett, and 2 behind Sean McDonald, who is going to be out for the evening for the first time next. He's going to take on Jack Hill, and it's coming right up.
Very warm welcome back, everyone, to the MODUS Super Series. Ariane Konterman, a 4-2 winner over Mike Gillett in our second match of the session. It really is hotting up that race for finals night qualification. Well, next up, it's Sean McDonald, the last player we're yet to see tonight here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. He takes on Jack Hill, looking to get his first win of the group. In the comms box, it's the two Chris's.
Thanks, H. Yeah, looking forward to seeing Shawnee Mack. Let me say, our first look at him tonight. I know he didn't probably play to the levels he would have preferred, it was still a successful night at the office, picking up 6 points of a possible 8 and putting himself right in the mix for a place in tomorrow night's finals night.
Yeah, and if he wins this one, because of the last result...
Yes, massive, isn't it?
Yeah. If he doesn't win it, then he's very much embroiled. If he does win it, he's 4 points clear of 2 players, and it looks like they're going to battle it out in a mini fight for third. So every game taking on certain significance. All we now do know is that Jack Hill is going to be officially a goner if he loses this match.
Yep, he will have played 2 and only have 2 to play, which is a
First leg is
maximum
Jack to
of
throw
4 points.
first. Game on.
Do want to see him win a match, I have to say.
Agreed.
Shouldn't have bias in the commentary box.
100.
We did see an improvement last night, and you know what? Maybe now any hopes of qualifying have been banished from his mind, and we might see a more relaxed approach from Hill. That's the hope.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I was trying to install in him last night.
83.
Just say, just go out and enjoy it. There's no expectations, only your own. Think about your aspirations going forward.
41.
Got plenty of engagement on social media from our last little chat. Also, though, people just saying they're enjoying the coverage and actually want to get down here in person. Well, you can.
96.
Yes, please do.
Tickets available via dartshop.tv. We'll give you a little flash of the QR code again later on.
80.
Absolutely free as well. And it's a really unique sort of atmosphere, isn't it, on a Saturday night here?
Well, we tend to get the more sort of fans that are slightly more traditional, that don't
140.
wanna sing about Ya Torre or whatever it is and stand up if you love the darts. They sit down and watch the darts because they love the darts.
95.
Always a friendly atmosphere and an enjoyable experience. We are building up quite a legion of regulars now, aren't we? Which is great.
Yeah, we do have
100.
regular visitors here, and one in particular, a young lad who actually was the beneficiary of the last Champions Week winning
59.
darts.
Yes.
Sean, you require
Mackenzie, who was handed
82.
the winning arrows by Raymond Smith, a great
Yeah, he
touch.
plays in the academy here, doesn't he? Well, in Portsmouth.
So, 25 ball. Hill will get an opportunity.
50.
All 19s and
Jack,
ball.
you require 126.
19s and double 6. Still a chance.
$98. Sean, you require 32. Game shot and the first leg.
16
Sean
dart break to
McDonald.
throw. Typically efficient from Shawnee Mack.
Second leg, it's Sean to throw first. Game on. $43.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you called it at the start of this game. He wasn't happy with his performance, but he's got to be ecstatic with his results.
Yeah, and he's that type of player. He's a real grinder, isn't he? He can just
99.
focus on the job in hand. Doesn't get too carried away with success or disappointment when it doesn't go his way. It's a great mindset.
59.
One thing I think I've noticed, you may shoot me down in flames, Mace, but for a player that's more methodical, I do think he's a bit of a first dart merchant,
60.
which is rarer for players that play like that. When he gets the first one right, he tends to replicate it pretty much spot on.
Yeah, and you are spot on. And that may be down. Well, may see an example. Ooh, that would have been perfect. There'd have been complaints that this isn't live.
137.
I think because it's such a deep backswing of the throw that once he sort of feels that point, he can replicate it. That's
60.
my take. But yeah, I agree. And that first one goes in for a slow thrower.
Some players even have a point on the backswing when they do go deep that they actually touch the shoulder with the fly or part of the face or whatever it might be.
Yeah, or side of the face or on the ear.
As long as you're touching it on the way back and not on the way forward, then you'll be all right.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a bit of a reference
140. Sean, you require 170.
Let's see if you can showcase it now. Wasn't a badly thrown dart. He utilises it very well.
98.
Can't find the
Jack, you require 142.
Would certainly make him feel a whole lot better. Not going to happen.
$29. Sean, you require 72.
There's one area of the game where you can see he's still learning, and that's definitely not necessarily the counting, but what benefit was it going back up to the 60 where it didn't look a particularly
52.
inviting prospect? It's an extra
Jack, you
3
require
points. But you've already got a marker
113.
on the treble 19. Stay there.
Yeah. I'd love to delve deeper into the stats as well as what he's how his scores have been between 100 and 200, because I think that's where he's had a lot of issues.
Agreed.
25.
And that's sad. That'll probably go and do it tomorrow.
Sean, you
as well.
require 20.
So when he's got in this sort of range, 88, he's been decent, hasn't he?
Yeah, but it's the approach play you're thinking of, aren't you?
Yeah.
Game shot and the second
Well,
leg.
Sean McDonald makes the most of Hill's troubles and doubles his lead in this match. I know
Third
the
leg
viewers
is
have
Jack
been
to
sending in
throw
their
first.
questions, but
Game
one's just
on.
sprung to mind for me, Mason. That is, what technique-wise I'm talking, what is the most common mistake you think the darts players make?
60.
Throwing the dart too hard and over gripping.
Over gripping, that's one I hear quite a lot, actually.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to squeeze the dart tight, are you? You've got to have a nice
it
loose,
almost rests in the grip pattern.
which is why you see
100.
some of the top players, and there's no better player this year than Gerwin Price, drop the darts quite a lot because they're holding it so loosely.
Yeah, and you think they were throwing
134.
30 kg kettlebell at the board sometimes. It's more often than not around 20-ish grams, and it doesn't need that much energy. It's a very aerodynamic property that... And of course, the gentler you throw the dart, the more control you have over it, and the more chance you have to replicate it.
Well, complete control and complete replication there from Sean McDonald, the first 180 of the match.
An example,
121.
exactly what you said with regards to FDM, first dart merchant.
Carry on, he's still replicating.
Fourth dart merchant.
Fifth.
177.
And when you've got that, it makes the switch much more likely as well, doesn't it? Because he's not doing it at super speed either.
No. All about control. And for any
45.
of our viewers, listeners,
Sean, you require 44.
played golf, there's always, no matter what level, there's always that feeling you've got to try and hit the skin off the ball. Or it's just simply about timing. You speak to a pro golfer and they go, no, it's just timing.
28.
Timing.
Jack, you require 141.
In darts, in golf, in life, so important.
I think I cross-reference it so much to snooker when you think, you know, I haven't had snooker lessons and been around snooker.
100.
You know, it's a bit the same as
Sean, you require 16.
gripping the butt of the cue and not forcing everything through. It's very similar, and that's sort of one of the closest things I can sort of compare it to. And if you think of a backswing and a follow through, that's
Game
very
shot
much
in
like
the third
a
leg.
cue
Sean
action, but
McDonald.
reversed. Tidy stuff this. 14 darter for 3-0.
Fourth leg, it's Sean to throw first. Game
Double
on.
rake.
You know, Jack Hill could be about to have a worse start to the night than he had last night. He has run into a decent performance here from Sean McDonald. He's averaging north of 90, and Hill himself is playing much better than he was at this point
140.
yesterday.
Yeah, he's averaging 80.
$45.
He's at it again. Was not
140.
happy with his performances last night. Will he be very happy with the way he's played in this one?
Yeah, back-to-back 140s.
100.
Highest average for McDonald last night was his last match, 88.52.
Going to trump that here if he gets the job done. I may do a clinic for all of these people on
60.
forums and social medias and invite them down to a day down here to maybe experience something that they've never done. It would mean
46.
leaving mummy's box
Sean, you
room,
require
but there you go.
161.
If you're staying over, there'll be no fortnight duvet cover for you, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we'll put you in against Sean McDonald playing like this.
129.
Didn't even think about the firework finish. I think maybe out of a little bit of respect as well for Jack Hill. We spoke about the practice room and how friendly they've been and encouraging to him.
121.
I don't think he wanted
Sean, you
to put in a
require
161 when he
32.
didn't need to. Double 8 would wrap up a 4-0 win. Well, double 4 would do that.
Game,
And that
shot, and the match.
Is an
Sean
excellent
McDonald.
display from Sean McDonald. For the first time, really, we've seen a player produce the kind of stuff that the league leader, Cam Crabtree, has been producing in this group. A 92.5 average for the Scotsman, who didn't give Jack Hill a dart at double in that game, and who moves himself into a very, very strong position in Group B in terms of qualifying for finals night. Ian Conterman is trying to strengthen his position. Cam Crabtree, his opponent, is looking to ensure he'll be at finals night with a win in the next game.
This is the MODUS Super Series. $180.
Available 6 days a week, 50 weeks of the year. The MODUS Super Series live with you throughout the course of 2023. Well, before the break, Sean McDonald lived up to his nickname of the Punisher, disposing of Jack Hill by 4-0 with a 92.5 average. Next up for us, Ian Conterman, who grabbed a win in his opening match, takes on Cam Crabtree. Easy for me to say, and it's easy for me to say. We're going to hand down to the two Chris's. I'm going to get my team back in.
Thanks very much, Henry. Yes, Cam Crabtree, I think, is the correct pronunciation. Ian Conterman, his opponent, and it is an interesting game. Crabtree, look, he's going to be at finals night, even though results so far have gone away that mean he might not be. And if he loses this one, then we'll start to look into that particular run of permutations and untangle that web. But good signs from Conterman in that win over Mike Gillett, and it looks like he's embroiled in a race with the man he's just beaten. This though, will be a tough task.
Yeah, sure will. But Conterman needed a lift.
First leg is Ariane to throw first. Game on.
Performance against Mike Gillett, then I'm not sure what to advise.
100.
A pair of them, of course, were in Group A together earlier in the week, and Conterman actually finished above Crabtree in the group, although on the same point.
54.
Yeah, just separated by a leg difference.
4-1 win for Crabtree when they met on Wednesday. 4-0 the day before to Conterman.
121.
And when they met on Monday, that one went the way of Conterman as well, 4-2. Of course, Crabtree winning last night, so this is
95.
a decider of sorts.
Yep. Fifth rubber. I'm already seeing a much more focused
180.
Cam Crabtree here than what we saw in the opening match.
44. Cam, you require 100.
He doesn't like the lie of that, so he's gone to 16s. 64.
Yeah, he can stay there.
44.
To check. That just took his focus off of the target where he was already eyeing it up.
119. Cam, you require 56. 16.
An unexpected
Ariane,
opportunity
you require
for
89.
Conterman to hold 20 and ball.
Oh,
Game shot and the first
wonderful.
leg. Ariane Conterman.
He's pulled out a few plums tonight already. And that was a perfect
Second leg
dart,
is Cam to throw
snatching the
first.
leg away
Game
from
on.
Crabtree. If Cam Crabtree does go on
42.
and win all of his matches, I think we should set Henry a little task based on what happened before this match. I think I'm going to give him a line that
60.
he has to say at the end of the show if Crabtree wins all 8 matches.
Oh, brutal.
And it's going to be Croydon's Cam Crabtree cruises through.
140.
The real tongue twister.
135.
Henry's put his orange shirt on upstairs. cheering on the Dutchman Arjen Konterman. By the way, a sea of orange again last night in the Premier League in Rotterdam.
57.
Well done to Nathan Aspinall, beating Michael van Gerwen and then going on to take the title.
Yeah, beating
99.
Gezi Price, and I just saw Gezi Price in the final, although he's only human. Although it must have been a bottle job, I suppose.
Well, did you see the interviews afterwards with Aspinall, who actually admitted that his felt his throw had been breaking down?
Yes.
But that was just the tonic. And
Oh, what, his throw was breaking down and not bottling it. See, people get confused over the difference. We're not in any way, shape or form denying it, but
129.
we need examples. And then for you to have that opinion, I want to know what you experienced in that same scenario.
100.
I can't go to a brain surgeon.
133.
Or he said I had to do this incredibly, it was so intricate, and I go, oh
55.
yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
put it another way, you wouldn't go to
Ariane,
the
you
operating
require
theatre and say
107.
say to the surgeon, I'd rather you do it this way, mate.
Yeah. But that is,
51.
Listen, it's the beauty of
Cam, you
everybody
require
thinking
78.
they know what it's like. I don't know what it's like to put a ball at the Masters for
Game shot and the second
win,
leg.
do I?
Cam Crabtree.
Never even been there.
Well, that was in the hole for Crabtree. Levelling it
Third
up,
leg
no
is Ariane
reaction.
to throw first. Game on.
Konterman, he wants his reaction to be on the dartboard.
61.
Most a clash of kits tonight, isn't it? These two.
180.
Number 2. And he's up into the 90s in terms of average.
85.
Mid-90s, 95.17, a couple of 180s. Crabtree starting to go through the gears.
59. 95.
Just looking through some of the tweets on social media. Plenty of love, actually, for Kevin Painter, the way that he managed to battle his way through to finals night and doing it. Well, he put the pain in Painter, didn't he?
Yeah, he's in absolute ribbons.
50.
It will be Kevin Painter, Chris Landman, and Carl Hamilton, plus probably Cam Crabtree.
140.
And another two from this group. Sean McDonald in a good position. Ian Konterman trying to get himself into a better position after only winning one of his matches
94.
last night.
Cam, you require 64.
The first breaker throw, tops.
Game shot and
Beautiful.
the third leg. Cam Crabtree.
Yeah, if you do have any questions for us here at the Super Series, you can come straight into the
Fourth leg is Cam to throw first.
commentary box
Game
through
on.
at MSS Starts, all one word.
Yeah, we mentioned as well that Owen Bates, who we've seen here, doing wonderful things at the Super Series. He's supporting his friend Cam Crabtree. We
99.
can confirm that actually Henry has secured an interview, and we will be hearing from Owen in a couple of games' time.
140. 58.
He was the winner way back in week 2.
Wow, was it that far back?
135.
When Bates beat Gates.
Yeah, it was that incredible 174, wasn't it?
Having also put paid to the chances of
140.
the Series 1 winner in the semi-finals in Conan Whitehead. Great night for him. Your experience
87.
when you got through to Champions Week, Chris, was doing it the week immediately before. I do wonder what it's like for the player gets through in week 1 or 2 to wait so long building up to what is going to be an important week in your career.
81.
Yeah, that was That was very
Ariane, you
much
require 139.
the chat regarding Kai Fan Lung, of course, who, when he would have accepted his invitation,
89.
probably didn't anticipate that you'd
Cam, you require
sort of be in that
123.
spell of a dip in form.
Looking at the ball.
98.
And then for Continent.
Ariane's last score was 89.
Been corrected down to
Yeah, 50 remaining, isn't it?
yep.
Ariane, you require 50.
Straight for it, Ariane. No messing about, please. No, not that. Okay, that will do very nicely. Great guide.
Game shot and the
Used
fourth
perfectly.
leg. Ariane Continent.
2-2. And a 15 dart break back.
Fifth leg is Ariane to throw first. Game on. $135.
And Cam's producing the stuff he was last night, but Ariane is up there with him.
He's just holding on, isn't he?
100.
Both players 2 from 4 on the doubles.
137. $125.
Pretty one-sided affairs, the first 3 matches of the night. 4-2 is the closest we had.
140.
Continent beat Gillett. This one's going to be at least that scoreline.
140.
Just
Ariane, you
one in
require
there.
89.
Double 5.
Game shot and the fifth leg.
Oh,
Ariane
15 dart
Continent.
break back is followed by a 12 dart hold, and incredibly not seen a max so far. from
Sixth leg is
Continent.
Cam to throw first. Game on.
Seen a couple from Crabtree.
Finishing as well, 3 out of 5 in this match. He was the worst finisher last night.
96.
25%, 8 from 32.
Poor results usually
96.
go hand in hand with poor finishing.
It had been better
52.
Monday to Wednesday in Group A, roughly between 33 and 36%.
Yeah, that's where they'd expect to be.
28.
Continent here just. The natural instinct is to just push a little harder because no one wants to go
58.
to a last legger.
$59.
That's where the anxiety builds.
Yeah, well, the match he played in his very final game of the night when he lost heavily to Mike Gillett
100.
last night. He was spraying darts all over the place. In this one, we've all been there or thereabouts, haven't they? What was it you were saying about people
65.
haven't played, not knowing what they're talking about? But his game against Crabtree, actually, he was the closest to him, wasn't he? It was 4-3.
95.
Actually missed darts to beat him.
180.
And he's put the pressure on him here.
Cam, you require
That's
100.
the question.
$45.
Well, that was a kind of
Ariane, you require
can't make my mind up
73.
dart, wasn't it?
Yeah. Twixt in between. Tops for a big win.
Game,
Big
shot,
win it is
and the
for
match.
Continent.
Ariane Continent.
Who averages 91.42 to Crabtree's 92.7 in a real high-quality game that featured 3 180s and 6 140s and some super clutch finishing. 4 from 6 for Continent on the doubles. He makes it back-to-back wins and moves into position 3. When we come back, it is Sean McDonald against Mike Gillett.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where Iron Continent has got the better of the league leader Cam Crabtree by 4 legs to 2. Got there in the end. 91.42 the average for Continent in that success, and 4 out of 6 on the doubles. That's propelled him now into that 3rd position on 6 points, and so an interesting battle ensues between Mike Gillett and Sean McDonald. So in the commentary box for this one, Chris Mason and Chris Murphy.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yes, it is a battle, isn't it, between the players that are fighting it out to, well, we think, we're pretty sure, join Cam Crabtree at finals night. But those results keep going that way that we thought we wouldn't have to worry about earlier on. So watch this space. Mike Gillett, though, he just needs to watch himself a little bit, having lost his opening match. Sean McDonald can actually join Cam Crabtree on 10 points, and I'm no mathematical genius, Mace, but if that happens, then that would mean the pair of them would be through, wouldn't it? Because Gillett in 4th position would only have 2 games left to play, so could only get to 8.
Correct. has sent a message regarding great
First leg is
comebacks.
Sean to throw first. Game on.
It's a bit of a strange one because it didn't ultimately result in a win, but Phil Nixon against Martin Adams in the World Championships.
Absolutely.
Remarkable. I'm not
140.
using the word bravery in sport when there's little contact involved. But my goodness, that performance
100.
from Nixie that night was incredible.
It's one of those games that you can watch back on YouTube and still not believe what's happening. Now, just to go back to the point I was making, it would mean McDonald and Crabtree would be through, but of course wouldn't mean that Gillett would be out because he could still catch
140.
Conterman.
Yes. It's always confusing with this group of 5 that 3 go through.
58.
But that's the bonus of being in Group B, and for the players that finish in position 2 and 3 out of Group A, that's the reward.
Conterman is back in action
140.
in the next game. He takes on Jack Hill. He could get himself to 8 points if Gillett
140.
loses this and then that happens. He's
Sean,
as
you
good as
require
gone. It's a
81.
must win for Mike.
Yeah. And then there'll be that potential of the big swing in leg difference as well. If Conterman can replicate the performance he had against
49.
Crabtree, you'd think he'd have far too much for Jack.
$60.
So McDonald, who was
Sean, you
excellent
require 32.
in his opening match, is carrying on where he left off, seemingly.
Yeah, thanks to Steve Green for that message regarding comebacks.
There'd be some
16.
comeback in this leg if Gillett was to
Mike,
snatch
you
it.
require 143.
He's not going to do it in this visit. He needs to rely on more misses from McDonald.
All the players seem to have upped their level of performance tonight, haven't they?
57. Sean, you require 16.
Yeah, if Chris Landman's watching, suddenly he might have a thing or two to think about. And he said he would be watching because he's a lover of darts, I think was the exact
Game
quote.
shot in the first leg.
Aren't we
Sean
all?
McDonald.
Sean McDonald will be loving life at the moment because he's playing exceptionally well, winning leg after leg, and he's moving
Second
closer
leg
and
is
closer
Mike
to
to throw
qualification.
first. Game on.
Landman will be a lover of right now, and that's playing here at the Live Lounge. Made some absolutely blistering stuff in Group A.
Yeah, it was.
26.
It's very strange to say because obviously, PDC Pro Tour is a bigger deal than this. We don't pretend otherwise. However, him getting to that final must have given him so much
140.
confidence to take into this week. It could not have come at a better time.
Well, he was only halted the next day by Neil Zonneveld, who produced a blistering
100.
performance himself. But even in defeat, Landman averaged just literally just shy of a ton, wasn't it? It was 99.6 something, I think.
A word for Richard Veenstra as well, who is a
100.
good friend of Chris Landman, and in Robin Park in Wigan, where that tournament's held, our commentary position is in a big sort of glass corridor above
93.
the arena. You can see everything. It's a great vantage point for us, not just to see the streaming boards, but we can actually see the reactions of all the players when they get beat at the boards around. And Veenstra lost early and waited patiently for Landman.
140.
Probably was willing him to lose.
Yeah, reaching the final of a Pro Tour, and he walked into a red-hot Ratajski,
95. Sean, you require
good to see
121.
Back to a bit of form, particularly in time for the World Series event that's going to be held in Poland.
Yeah, he's had a real dip. Let's come out the other end. It happens. With the vast majority of normal sportsmen.
83.
Yeah, interestingly, we then saw Jose de Sosa go on a run the very next day.
Yeah,
He's also had a dip.
Yeah, he's had a real tough time. 110 left.
97. Sean, you require 38.
Well, assuming you went for the bull there, but
I'm not going to question either of these two's maths. What they do for a job.
Game shot and the second leg.
teaching
Sean
and accounting.
McDonald.
It looks like McDonald may account for Mike Gillett here. He's halfway there. And he's teaching him a lesson.
Third leg is Sean to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, tidy stuff this. 97 the average for McDonald, and that's backing up that 92.5 he produced
59.
in match number 3 this evening.
Just a reminder, if McDonald wins this match, he goes through the finals night. And Cam Crabtree
22.
goes with him. In fact, if he wins it by a margin of 3 legs or more, he'll actually end up at the top of the table. And then there'll be 1 place left. Gillett could still claim it.
44.
Yeah, it's going to be himself and Continent duking it out. And they will...
66.
We'll be looking at the other results and the possible permutations.
Well, they both play Jack Hill. They've got to avoid a slip up there. And I think
Well, Continent has to play Jack next, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think the hope, based on what we've seen tonight, I think the hope for Gillett will be the fact that Continent also has to play McDonald, who's been the performer of the evening so far.
Correct.
And then it'll go to the last game between Gillett and Crabtree.
Yeah, and that's where maybe Continent will be helped out by Cam Crabtree in that deciding match.
But it's a strange one, isn't it? You can look at what they've done so
45.
far, but if it does go that way, they're both playing players that are either already out or already through. And that can affect the mentality a little bit at times.
Absolutely.
140.
Of course, there will be jostling for position to deal with as well. You want to top the group, give yourself the best place you can on finals night. It's the
43.
players top of Group B and Group C that avoid the player top of Group A.
$60. Sean, you require 170.
Well, Gillett, you feel, needs something to spark his night.
134. Mike, you require
That's good,
153.
It's not going to be his night.
59.
He's hanging by
Sean, you require
a
36.
thread.
Game shot and the third leg. Sean
The
McDonald.
problem he's got here is not only is he getting beaten, he's getting beaten heavily, and the slight
Fourth leg, it's Mike to throw
leg
first.
difference
Game
advantage
on.
he has over Continent, the man he'll then be chasing. He's getting wiped out here.
Yep.
99.
He has the throw here. I mean, he's a long way off from getting beat 4-0 at the moment, but if he does, he will actually be on -1. Same as Continent.
81.
We did say the second match of the night might be the most important. Continent beat Gillett in it. Could prove to be the
60.
case.
In it. Getting down with the kids, pal.
Yeah, very street me, Macy, you know that.
Roadman.
140.
Sean McDonald on easy street tonight. This is absolutely fabulous stuff from him, and it's taken him a night to settle in, hasn't it? He got good results
100.
yesterday without good performances. He's getting both this evening.
Yep. Seemingly settling straight back in.
100.
It's almost a year since he last appeared. That was when we were still based in Southampton. Different setting, first time here. For Sean McDonald, who did some great things in the old edition of the Super Series that was then called the Live League.
Cheers for that, Murph. I've only just stopped calling it that.
Turns out that old pair of slippers
100.
still feel pretty comfy.
Mike, you require 102.
Every leg is now becoming must-win for Mike. He gets a dart, a double 16, brilliant
Game shot
check
on the
out.
fourth leg. Mike Gillett.
Well, that could be all important. It might seem like a mere consolation in this
Fifth
match,
leg is
but
Sean to throw
it could
first.
well come
Game
down to a big
on.
difference between himself and Adian Konterman. And what he's done by winning that leg is ensured that he will still be in front by that metric, despite being a couple of points behind.
Yeah, if he went on to
44.
lose this match, we could well look back at that 102, and it could ultimately be the reason why he progresses.
100.
Fine margins of Group B.
Yeah, very rare that all is signed and sealed early in the evening. Quite common that one place is, maybe two, and that might well happen, but we could be going down to the wire in
60.
the battle for P3.
$121.
Look, there are marginal gains to be got by finishing higher up in the group, but everybody starts in the same position on finals night, whether they got there by winning all the games or sneaking through.
I think that's why we have so many turn-ups
58.
on finals night with the added pressure. Potential to not only lift the £5,000 on Saturday night, but of course that puts you into Champs Week where the winner walks away
100.
with £20,000.
Yeah, it's really fun stuff to watch, intriguing, because you get a completely different type of tournament on the Saturday. Everything you've done to get here,
60.
throw it out the window and start again, because you've got an audience. It's short, sharp, round-robin groups, and then knockout darts.
Yeah, it's mentally taxing.
140.
We have sometimes a player who will play 5 days to get to finals night and be out after 3 matches, because he'll have played in game 1 and 3, lost them both, and could be, depending on his
139.
geographical location,
Mike, you
home
require
in
40.
time to watch the final. Is better from Gillett.
Game shot in the fifth leg.
Every leg match,
Mike
as I
Gillett.
said. Well, he might have bigger ambitions than just keeping the scoreline down, because if he holds here, it will be 3-3.
Sixth leg is Mike to throw first.
in a decider.
Game on.
So rarely home nowadays, I have to ask the car where I live.
$134.
Yeah, you press home on the sat-nav and it brings you here.
Exactly.
$100.
We won't give the bosses ideas, actually. You might think about just turning this into a 24-hour broadcast, and it's like a
41.
darts tournament at the match times, but a reality TV show in between. The production crew just all live here. To be fair, I think Henry Deacon does, doesn't he? Saw a sleeping bag on that balcony.
100.
much. Some nights when we were still starting 9:30 on a
83.
Thursday and Friday morning. It just did feel like just stay here.
Yeah, I did have a look around and think, suddenly that bench looks appealing.
Maybe the powers that be can build us some of them pod things.
100.
No sleeping going on here. Again, it's looking. Make it 3 on the spin.
137.
But it was a bigger margin, but it's almost a role reversal from his first match when he looked to be in control early against Konterman, who came roaring back. That's exactly what Gillett's done here.
58. Mike, you require 106.
Treble 18. For double 16.
Just confirming with the referee.
We spoke about the 102.
90.
That was a very similar shot.
Sean, you require 143.
This would be a killer.
$93. Mike, you require 16.
Side of the board. Double 4.
Game
That's it.
shot and the sick flag. Mike Gillett.
Well, the comeback is complete. Can he turn it
7th
in?
and final leg. It's Sean to throw first.
He'll
Game
win.
on.
3-3. Shawnee Mack has the darts.
$59.
All right, just to put you in the picture of how big this leg is. If Sean McDonald wins it, he goes through, as does Cam Crabtree. If Mike Gillett wins it, nobody's through yet.
60.
That possibility
60.
of 4 players on 10 points and somehow Crabtree missing out would remain.
It's taken quite a
100.
strange sequence of events, hasn't it, and results.
We said off air we might get 1,000,000 to 1 on that happening. Right?
Not now.
96.
In striking distance here, Gillett, of stealing the darts and taking control of the leg and the match. Look at this.
180.
Greatest comebacks. This would be up there with one of the greatest at the Super Series, especially if it results in Gillett progressing to finals night.
Well, talk about timing all the time, especially in darts.
95.
What a time to get your
Mike, you
first
require
max.
161.
How often do we see it in deciding legs? A player that's not hit one throughout and then finds one in a decider.
92.
This has been simply quality from Mike Gillett, who could have rolled over. But stayed
75.
focused, stayed composed, stayed
Mike, you
in
require
control
69.
of what he was doing. Took out that 102 to get a leg on the board, and now wants 69 complete. The total tungsten turnaround.
Tops.
29.
And, I mean, in terms of the metric
Sean, you
of
require 116.
McDonald's averages, it's not like a collapse. Pretty much there or thereabouts. Oh, this is awkward.
Oh, awful. Awful, isn't it, that? Because it's a well-thrown dart, but it's blocked it. And that is one of the intricacies of this game, isn't it? A good dart can end up being the
56.
worst thing possible.
Yeah, that's why I'm not
Mike, you
a
require
massive
40.
fan of that route. especially if you have darts that stick up like McDonald's does.
So if this goes in, we are none the wiser.
Game,
And it's Gillett's
shot, and the
great
match,
escape.
Mike Gillett.
A 4-3 win from 3-0 down. Sean McDonald remained a leg away from booking his place at finals night and taking Cam Crabtree with him. That is not happening yet. Mike Gillett has turned things around, and it is wide open between the 4 players trying to fit into the top 3. We will return after the break with a special guest on the balcony, and then Jack Hill will take on Addy and Conterman. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where it is half-time, which means it's time for our assessment up here on the balcony with Chris Mason. And, well, Chris, a few minutes ago on the notepad I had Sean McDonald perfect night, and then Mike Gillett turns up and wins 4 legs on the spin, and, well, we're still none the riser.
No, that's right. No, we were putting, at 3-0, we were putting Cam Crabtree through and Sean McDonald through, and that one result has completely changed everything because no one's safe now. Of course, with the permutations of leg difference and everything else. I mean, it would take an extraordinary run of results, but it's the comeback from Conterman continues.
incredibly, there is a scenario where 4 players can still land themselves on 10 points. It's absolutely crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and listen, it wouldn't shock me if that's the way it's played out. It's had a funny feel to it tonight. But the darts have been far from funny. Some real quality stuff. Great to see the players, all of them, bouncing back and giving it absolutely everything.
After what we said at the start of the show, you've been most impressed by Ian Conn and how he's been able to respond tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, especially against some adversity and obviously the negative memories from yesterday. But, you know, when you think about it, he sort of went through the ringer in Group A very much like that. And we've been, said to Murph, we're waxing lyrical, rightly so, about Landman, but let's not forget he was just 1 game away, and it took a bizarre 1-2-9 finish, 57, double 18, double 18 from Conterman to win it, whilst from Landman to win it, whilst Conterman was waiting on a finish.
It was most certainly a crazy moment. Well, next week could be a little bit crazy as well, because this is the lineup for week 12. We had a little bit of a look at this earlier on, and we were more than thrilled to see the lineup there, beginning with Darryl Pilgrim, and then we've got the likes of Scott Mitchell, Matthew Edgar coming in. Yeah,
man, and I think this will do Scott good, just a couple of days of darts. He's not had it all his own way in recent times, and he seems to be a bit struggling. But yeah, looking forward to seeing Matt Edgar up there. He's over in Iceland this weekend, so we'll be able to have a look at that. Good to see Jim McEwen back. And interesting for me, Benito van der Paas, who was, you know, not that long ago a tour card holder and being talked of as the next big star.
You've kind of been in that similar pair of shoes as Matt Edgar, where you've been in the commentary box a lot and then you're going out onto the stage. Can that have a different feel? Because obviously you've been in that position where you're talking on commentary. Does it feel like there's a bit more pressure put upon you?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I don't think you'd be human if you didn't feel that way, because, you know, you're talking about it and, you know, trying to put your own spin on it, and then you've got to go up there and back it up. But ultimately, neither myself, well, I'm certainly not a dart player, I'm a commentator, where Matt Edgar still has sort of plenty of ambitions, and rightly so. He's still relatively a young man in darts.
And they're all looking to join our weekly winners into Championship. These are the players who have made their way through so far into Champions Week. We're into week 11 of the process. We saw Luke Littler win last week and secure his passage through to the finals, which is going to take place in a couple of weeks' time. Now, you may recognise the winner of week 2 there in and amongst the list. And I'm happy to say he's with me now. Owen Bates, great to have you here in the building in Portsmouth. First of all, how have things been since that weekly success?
Yeah, they've been great. I mean, I played a few Pro Tours, and just what I'm doing at the moment it really is my dream. So I'm just going to keep going and see what can happen.
Have you watched that game back with Leonard yet?
Maybe a couple of times, yeah.
And of course, now it gets ever so close. Does the reality of the situation begin to set in?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, playing amongst the 12 weekly winners, the 12 best players, it's going to be fantastic. But I'm just going to turn up and just play my darts and see what can happen. Yeah.
Now you're here to support Cam Crabtree. You two are very close mates on and off the tour. It'd be nice to come down and give him a bit of support.
Yeah, definitely. Cam's a great mate, and we're kind of at the same place at darts at the moment, going to Pro Tours together, youth tours. But yeah, it's just nice to come up and support him. I mean, it could be a lonely place when you're here for a week on your own. So hopefully, yeah, it'll be good.
We've been able to link a little bit of advice between each other?
Well, I don't know, I wouldn't go that far, but Cam knows what he's doing. But as I said, it's just really nice to have someone who you can relate to. And if something's not going your way, I can pick him up or he can pick me up. Yeah.
And just finally, I've got to try you out on a little bit of punditry. What have you made of the action tonight?
Great darts.
He knows how to do this punditry lark, doesn't he? Well, Owen, thank you very much for coming up and having a chat to us. Well, next up is going to be Jack Hill up against Ian Conterman. Watching this one in commentary, it's the two Chris's.
Well, mate, you're in trouble.
No. He can stick to the darts. He's way better than me at that, and I'll stay in my lane and you stay in yours, Owen.
Well, we will see him again, of course, in just over a week's time when Champions Week gets underway. But back to the action here, and Ian Conterman is looking to carry on this congested race to make it through to finals night and keep themselves in the hunt for Champions Week. If Jack Hill can beat him, then we will finally be able to crown a qualifier from this group in Cam Crabtree.
Hold your horses, Murph.
I suppose that means Owen Bates is backstage now cheering for Jack to get his pal through.
First leg, it's Jack to throw first. Game on.
Now, it's something that we've touched on in the past, Mace, about playing. It's an individual sport, but it's a lonely place if you haven't got any
60.
friends, isn't it?
Yeah, and especially down here, but that's why you usually see the group
96.
who start on the Monday end up almost, if they've never met before, they end up sort of friends for life, really, because you spend that much time with them, and you know a lot of them will
84.
will go back after the session and have a wash and change, and often go out and have dinner, or some of them go and watch a local football match or whatever.
96.
Yeah, we can get some pretty warm practice rooms by the end of the week. We had a couple of frosty ones as well. Don't worry about that.
95.
Yeah, there's been some interesting ones. But yeah, and I think it's just that bit of familiarity, having your pal around, and
43.
and like you said, you know, sometimes you can drop your head, and you know, although it has been nice, they've all been so supportive of Jack Hill that you know there's be certain
52.
scenarios where, listen, the other players, quite frankly, don't care whether you win or lose, or in some cases want you to lose for their benefit.
Yeah, there might be a time when
85.
well, all of these players are playing on the Pro Tour. That's the aspiration for the players in this group, and Jack Hill rocks up and has 4
60.
players to thank for the support they gave him that week in Portsmouth back in 2023.
There you go.
90. Jack, you require 150.
Well, he's not going to take out the 150, but he could put himself in a good position. This is the area of the
60.
game which we mentioned earlier on.
Ariane, you require
Often saw him
91.
spray darts around, setting up when either on a big finish or trying to get down to a finish. This time he's left 90, so
35.
should get a dart
Jack, you require 90.
to win this leg.
Yeah, just keep them straight. Dink one over the top of that, and ball.
58.
He decided to lay up, Mace.
Ariane, you require 56.
Does he come back?
16.
He does.
It does, and this is where
Jack,
he
you
has been
require
okay
32.
so far. In fact, he's been better than okay.
16.
Yeah, better than most
Ariane, you require
in this group
40.
in that department, but 3 clear misses there. Add that to the one at the bullseye. But Konterman
35.
continues the trend.
Jack, you require 16.
Getting closer.
No score. Ariane, you require 5. Game
Never
shot and the
lose.
first leg. Ariane
Yeah,
Konterman.
huge relief. Ariane Konterman, just to get that chalk on the board, and
Second leg is Ariane to throw
Almost
first.
tell
Game
that-
on.
he is so attuned to the situation that
100.
he knows this is a must-win game.
Just to put you in the picture, Cam Crabtree is top of the table on
100.
10 points. It's usually the magic number. 12 points will always guarantee
Yeah.
qualification. 10, usually more than enough. 8, usually
97.
enough. But just Jack Hill, on his debut here, the inexperienced player has lost all of his games so far. Crabtree's not
60.
yet through on 10. John McDonald behind him on 8.
Yeah,
Might-
it's the only scenario that plays out, isn't it? Is
Yeah.
when there's one player who doesn't pick up a win.
40 points to
30.
play for in the group. 4 could end up on 10.
Yeah.
Mike Gillett and Arian Konterman both on 6 after 6.
26.
So if Konterman wins this, he moves on to 8. And then McDonald will play Crabtree. McDonald wins that. He goes on to 10.
76.
And then Gillett will play Hill. And still, with 2 matches to play, we might have nobody through. We'll start to look at leg difference as well, because it will depend on the margin of
60.
victories whether certain players can be caught. But at the moment, from first to fourth, the leg gap is,
98.
including the one that Konterman's just won, just 9. So the swing is there. In fact, if Conterman goes on to win this
99.
handsomely,
Ariane, you require 100.
the gap between Crabtree and Mike Gillett would drop to 4th on leg difference. He's only 5 legs.
60.
Which
Jack,
is
you
less than a
require
match, isn't it?
156.
Yeah. And of course, they're playing each other, so you could get the strange situation where the player in 4th
60.
could actually
Ariane, you require 40.
knock
Go.
off the player in 1st.
Yeah.
Game shot and the
Finishing.
second leg. Ariane Conterman.
Conterman.
We have had that a couple of times, haven't we, in Group C, where
Third
the player
leg is
in
Jack to
second's
throw
been
first.
safe.
Game on.
but 3rd and 1st have been playing each other, and 3rd has won, leapfrog 2nd. But
60.
top place has gone the other way. When Matt Clark won that group,
Yes,
that
that.
happened.
Well, he was in 2nd, but was definitely through.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was the one that was through, and it was the
90.
other two around it.
Because I couldn't get my head around it because
2nd was through, but 1st wasn't.
because 3rd had to play 1st.
140.
That gave me all sorts of.
Well, look, we're just about the only place that does league darts. There's group games in the Grand Slam,
100.
but in terms of TV darts, this sort of league format, of course, the Premier League does it, but in a very different way.
Yeah.
121.
Mini tournament structure, isn't it?
Yeah, I must be honest, in terms of the Premier League, I've only just started looking at the league table. Just kind of
Yeah,
seen it
well,
for the
73.
first 9 weeks as one-off tournaments every Thursday. I was quite actually surprised to see that Price had gone top.
Yes. Yeah, by making the final last night. Even in
55.
defeat, it's still gone a point above MVG. It's
95. Jack,
as a
you require
fan there, it's amazing
125.
to see a winner each week, but I think it's lost its little bit of appeal to the viewer.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's return to that point. Interesting way to start there, because having hit the treble 20
93.
at 65 left, we
Ariane,
could
you
have
require
actually gone 15 ball.
143.
He should never have been going at the treble 20 in the first place. And again,
105.
that's just inexperience and
Jack,
something
you
he will
require
work out along the
32.
way.
Well, we mentioned it last night. It's literally like he's read a list of checkouts that a darts manufacturer's given him
24.
or something. And
Yeah,
he's
one of those
just-
cards, those checkout
Ariane, you require
cards.
38.
And I think that's something
Game
he
shot and the third leg. Ariane Conterman.
may sort of sort with playing with more experienced players and doing that 1-2-1 finishing game.
Fourth leg is Ariane
where
to
you go
throw
from
first.
1-2-1 to
Game on.
170, and that will eventually iron out any issues because you'll become so familiar with
100.
which sequence and the order of the sequence.
Yeah, I just going back to your Premier League point. I think for me, and I don't know if it's a biased thing as a
125.
commentator or whether it's just how I feel as a viewer, but and probably a hypocrite to say it, commentating on a tournament where players could end up playing each
57.
other 7 times in a week. But I do feel that the very top players just loses that little bit of edge when they play so often.
Well, yeah, that was the one good thing about the Premier League. You may not have seen them clash, but
100.
of course with the World Series now, which again is a lot of the same players, you actually relish the opportunity to see these two big guns lock horns,
100.
and you knew it was going to be at least twice a year.
Yeah, and you'd sort of circle it in your calendar, wouldn't you?
Yes.
He's going to Van Gerwen's playing Taylor in
Yeah.
Sheffield. I'll be.
Yeah, or Taylor's playing Barney
100.
in the Netherlands. Yeah, you would pick those matches out.
140.
Well, Conterman is doing his job here. It would be a third straight 4-0 defeat for Jack Hill, which is a little bit bizarre
100.
because
Ariane, you
He's played
require
better tonight.
104.
yeah, better tonight than he did last night in those 3 matches. Still on.
68.
But when we
Jack, you
looked
require
at the
76.
numbers from last night, it was well under what we'd expect.
Gets a chance here, though. Oh, well, that will be a result for Ariane Conterman because, as we've been saying, every leg could matter tonight.
72. Ariane, you require 36. game, shot, and the match, Ariane Contement.
For Ariane Contement. So it continues to get congested. There's plenty of traffic toward the top of the table. Contement has pulled ahead now of Mike Gillett. He wins 4-0 against Jack Hill, who suffers that fate for the third time this evening. He will be back to take on Gillett in a couple of games' time. Before that, Cam Crabtree gets another chance to secure his spot at finals night. He takes on Sean McDonald. Do stay with us.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. Ariane Contement sealed a 4-0 success over Jack Hill in our 6th game of the evening. The Dutchman continues to make a charge on the second day of the group. He moves on to 8 points. Next up for us, it is McDonald up against Crabtree, watched by Chris Mason and Chris Murphy.
Yeah, and it's a very, very big match. It's another opportunity for Cam Crabtree to secure a spot at finals night. If he wins this, he does go through because he takes his tally to 12 points. A Sean McDonald win, though, would mean that we would still be none the wiser as to which 3 it would be from 4. Just getting confirmation on a possible outcome. I think, and this is, I mean, I need to go and have a word with Mike Gillett or Sean himself on the mathematics here, but I think that a 4-0 win could be enough in this match for Sean McDonald. Although that's probably quite an unlikely outcome, Mace.
Well, it would have to be a complete role reversal because it was Cam Crabtree who beat Sean last night by that scoreline.
Does Crabtree yet
First leg,
start
it's Sean
to
to
think there
throw
is a possibility
first.
that he
Game
won't go
on.
through, or is it if he loses this one, he might start to think about that?
Yeah. I think that would be the scenario. At the moment, his main focus, and I think he's one of them type of players that assesses his opponent.
134.
He will probably, maybe that's part of youth, but he may have assessed McDonald already and think, well, I beat you 4-0 last night. I'll beat you tonight.
57.
Well, basically, for the rest of the night, Cam Crabtree will go through based on a certain result in each match. Starting with this one, if he wins it, he's through. In the next one, if Mike Gillett were to lose it, he'd go through. If Conterman was to
135.
then lose in the next one, he'd go through, and so on.
Yeah.
Until he gets to the position where he doesn't want to be, needing to win his last match to go through.
140.
Been one of those nights, hasn't it, where we've needed to be certainly on our mettle when it comes to the numbers. We sort of joked about it at the start of the night. I can't believe it
100.
possibly could be panning out that way.
When you entered all the potential or possible permutations of results that could
100.
end up like this, and
Sean, you require
bizarrely it's done that. Can you
132.
pick me out some lottery number spell?
Well, he's blocked both of his targets.
58.
It maybe just offers some optimism to Cam Crabtree. If he can put in a couple of trebles here, the pressure is piled on.
60. Sean, you
That's
require
not enough
74.
42 leaves 32.
58. Cam, you require 144.
Another. Oh, great darts. Great
Game
finish
shot
from
and the
Cam
first
Crabtree.
leg. Cam
McDonald
Crabtree.
won't be getting that 4-0 win, so don't need to worry about that anymore. But Cam Crabtree has just produced a finish from nowhere. I thought he needed to put in a couple of trebles in the previous visit to put pressure on. He found them.
Second leg is Cam
all-important
to throw
finish.
first. Game on.
Break a throw as well. And one of the permutations I put in was a 4-3 defeat for Crabtree because I thought, well, maybe that will be enough, but it won't.
43.
No.
It's to win the match to qualify.
Just those extra 2 points, which means, well, he can't be caught. Right now, he's still in a vulnerable position, which is
125.
Yeah, and already he's had a couple of
85.
shaky visits in this leg, and McDonald has had a 1-2-5 to snatch the darts immediately. The good finish might count for now.
And again, that will be down to the adrenaline that's coursing through the veins after taking out a
41.
wonderful 144. And again, it's experience where you learn to manage those moments and they become
100.
almost expected, so they don't create any drama.
$59. $96.
So to recap what's happened, it did start well for Crabtree.
140.
1-4-0 against Jack Hill.
137. Sean, you require 136.
Was then beaten by Conterman. Looking to get back to winning ways, having won all of his matches last night. And he's going to get a chance to double his lead here.
96. Cam, you require
Tops for
40.
2-0.
Game shot in the second leg. Cam Crabtree.
15.
Third leg, it's Sean to throw first. Game on.
Backs up the break with a 16-dart hold. 2-0 to the good. McDonald doing little wrong apart from missing opportunities in leg 1 on the back of the
58.
74. He's averaging well into the 90s himself. At the moment, the doubling Crabtree immaculate 2 from 2, including
60.
the 144.
$81. $100. $60.
Well, quick update from the Austrian Darts Open, part of the European Tour, which is on this weekend. Campbell beating Ian White 6-5.
135.
6-5. Whitlock getting a win against Tiber at 6-4. Barneveld 6-3 win over Dolan. Meikle beating Rowie John. Gurney beating Bunty. Doby beating Vitislav Sedlak.
57.
Menzer beating Ricky Evans 6-4. There's been a slight raise in performance level from Menzer of late, hasn't there?
58.
The player's form has been a bit of concern. If you fancy some darts tomorrow afternoon before we come on air at 7:30, Gilding is facing
83.
Matt Campbell, Josh Rock, Ratajski,
Cam, you require
Mansell,
148.
Petter Woodhouse, Cross, Kyvenhoven, Cullen, Nick Kenny, Aspinall, Schneer, Clayton against Klassen. That's your afternoon's
41.
entertainment. You still going through the permutations
Yes,
over there, Murph?
a recalculation, and Cam Crabtree is going to be safe on 3 legs here. It's 4-2, a 4-2 defeat.
87.
And he's still not safe.
Cam, you require
If
107.
he wins this leg, he would be. He won't know that. He'll know victory will be enough, and it might be, well, what he gets.
91.
Can confirm leg 3
Sean, you require 75.
would see Crabtree be the 4th name on that list for finals night, with Chris Landman, Kevin Painter, Carl Hamilton.
Game shot and the third leg.
He's not there
Sean
yet.
McDonald.
Well, those permutations stay alive.
He's playing Shawnee Mack. It's
Fourth
never
leg
going
is
to be
Cam
easy.
to throw first. Game on.
He's going to put you through the ringer. Trust me.
$140. $140.
McDonald himself, of course,
85.
looking to get the points to get through.
$43.
Needed 4-0 to do it in this match, but he plays Adrian Kontum in his last game. That could be interesting, couldn't it, if they're both on 8 points?
Could be a straight shootout.
180.
I'm amazed there's not been a max in the match, and Crabtree obliges.
Well, it could even be a shootout where one player thinks they're out, and then they're waiting for Cam Crabtree against Mike Gillett in the last match, and might still go through. So there's all sorts that can still happen in this
Cam, you
group.
require 96.
We're back at a point in which if Crabtree takes out this finish, he is through. And that's
Game
it.
shot in the fourth
Cam
leg.
Crabtree
Cam Crabtree
finally books his place at finals night. That third leg is enough
Fifth leg is Sean
to
to throw
secure his
first.
spot
Game on.
on Saturday's big money night, and a chance to qualify for Champions Week with his good friend Owen Bates, who of course is here supporting Cam.
140.
A lovely leg to do it as well. There was a max in the leg, a 96 out for a 12 dart hold.
180.
Throwing his stuff now. Yeah. A couple of 180s in scoring visits in a row. We did see, of course, Ryan De Vrede, who hasn't made it through to Saturday, hit 4 180s on the spin. Now, that is a rare feat.
140.
I've never seen by an individual player that I can think of.
Well, I have one, although not on the Super Series.
60.
Mervyn King, Las Vegas Desert
Yes.
Classic against, I think it was Darren Young.
Yes. Seen Michael hit maximum
65.
visits, but not 180s. Of course.
Was that the UK Open?
Yeah.
Rob Cross.
Yeah. And of course, we've seen the 4 180s.
60. Sean, you
apiece
require
in the match.
156.
Steve Brown do it at the Worlds once as well.
So, yeah, so it's...
Somewhere in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
You know why? I think because last time I mentioned it, somebody pulled me and said, you only
120.
mentioned Merv, you never mentioned Steve Brown. And confirmation that he did it against Andy Smith. A voice in
Timeout.
my head has just said.
60. Sean, you require 36.
McDonald looking to tuck into this. Can he tuck it in?
18.
He's already taken out a 144 in the match.
Cam, you require
And then a 141, and we
141.
know he goes 57, 48 for 36 because he's done it already.
89.
Did it last night.
Sean, you
in his
require
opening
18.
match against Mike Gillett.
Double 9 then for McDonald. Oh,
Game
straight
shot on
in.
the fifth leg.
Back in
Sean
business
McDonald.
here. Crabtree may be through, but McDonald's still harbouring hopes of getting the 10 points with him.
Sixth leg, it's Cam to throw first. Game on. $58.
So Gillett against Hill to follow. Gillett, remember, is on 6 points. McDonald,
134.
Konterman both on 8 at the moment. Konterman will then take on McDonald. But Gillett plays Crabtree in the last game of the night.
140.
Which is why even if McDonald gets to 10 points by turning this one around, won't yet be quite safe.
$134.
Back to back 134s with a 2 treble 19s on that occasion.
139.
Same as the first visit. Super shooting on cover, but still trails in the leg.
If it does go wrong for Sean McDonald, you've got to look back at that performance from Mike Gillett when he turned it
42.
around, and we said, well,
Yeah.
we'll be talking about the
Can we
102
require
to get
164?
to 3-1 later in the night. Well, it actually sparked a comeback to win 4-3.
57.
Could well facilitate itself in Sean McDonald not qualifying.
He's got his own ideas, but Crabtree will get a go at putting him away.
171. Cam, you require
Absolutely
107.
9 count on the 19s to leave double 10.
Gets a dart.
91.
Can't yet claim victory.
Sean, you require 20.
Break of throw opportunity and 3-3.
Game shot and the sick flag. Sean McDonald.
The discussion about guts and bottle, that can't be questioned.
7th and final leg.
We're
It's
talking
Sean to
about
throw first. Game
Billy
on.
Mack.
And what else can't be questioned is the standard tonight. They've raised the game.
Yeah. It's been brilliant.
140.
Both players going at it here. Averages north of 93.
Close to 94 for
30.
McDonald. 96, well, now 94-21.
Not much between them. A couple of maximums in the match. Going the way of the league leader.
Oh, more important than that was the 171.
123.
Sean McDonald to lead the double 10, which he converted to give us a level game, and now he's gone off 140, 123.
96.
Yeah, I think Cam might be, if he loses this match, he might be a relieved man when somebody tells him backstage that he's done enough.
Yeah. He'll be unaware.
100.
Well, you would still think at this point 10 points would be enough, so McDonald winning, he will probably think he's done enough as well, but no guarantees.
Still leaves the scenario open
58.
for
Sean,
all
you
of the
require
5 players to all end up
138.
on 10.
I actually thought more likely tonight that Crabtree carried on winning, Hill carried on losing, and we could have
86.
3 players tied
Yes.
on 8 points. That now can't happen, but 4 on 10 could.
140. Sean, you require 52.
Moves a step closer. If McDonald cleans this up. Double 16 is the choice. Is that a help or a hindrance?
20.
Oh, it's been so prolific in the scoring department. He will return, but under huge pressure.
137.
Not the first time he's
Sean,
done
you
that
require
over the last
32.
couple of nights. How's your bottle?
Game,
Just
shot,
fine.
and the match. Sean McDonald.
Sean McDonald gets a 4-3 victory over Cam Crabtree, who has done enough by getting those 3 legs. Even if it is a 4-way tie on 10 points, he will be one of the 3. Sean McDonald has strengthened his chances with that victory. Great game it was as well. Crabtree, despite an average of almost 96 and a checkout percentage of 60, including a 144, beaten by the Scotsman. And the action will continue after the break. Mike Gillett now needing to win. He takes on Jack Hill next.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. Really impressive game between Sean McDonald and Cam Crabtree before the break. McDonald running out a 4-3 victor, doing serve an average just under 92. Next up for us, Mike Gillett in action up against Jack Hill in comms. Here's the two Chris's.
Thank you, Henry. Yes, it was a battling performance last time out for Mike Gillett. The comeback win against McDonald, who responded himself there with his own battling win against Cam Crabtree. Still, of course, have the scenario we could end up with all 4 players, excluding Jack, of course, on 10 points. But that has to start with Mike Gillett, 39 from Porthcawl. Welsh international, doing the business here against Jack Hill on debut. Only been playing darts for a very short time.
First leg is Mike to throw
ADC
first.
qualifier.
Game on.
These two, of course, met last night in match number 3, and it was a 4-0 win for
121.
86, had 180, 40% on the doubles and a high finish of 122.
85.
Tonight, Mike Gillett went down 4-2 to an impressive Continent. Instantly bounced back
100.
with that 4-3 battling win against Shawnee Mack to keep his hopes alive. He has 2 more to play.
45.
This is Jack's final match.
Yeah, it would be disappointing to see Jack Hill leave without a leg
134.
tonight, because he got better and better yesterday as it went on, and he's not played at as bad a standard as he did in the early part of yesterday. But everybody else has raised their game tonight.
123. Mike, you require 146.
May not take away a win, but will hopefully take away plenty of experience, and he
130.
enjoyed his time here. It has been tough, but at least now he knows where. Well, it's a target for him, isn't it?
40.
Target to try and
Mike, you
return
require
and
16.
improve. Darts is a sport which is extremely
8.
unforgiving and cruel at times. Speak from experience.
58.
Gillett
Mike, you require 8.
has shown some real tungsten tenacity this evening, particularly that comeback win against Sean McDonald.
That started with that
No score.
102 checkout, which we said could be
Jack, you
instrumental.
require
Well, at that point, we thought
150.
it might just be instrumental for leg difference. It turned into points, didn't it, for Mike Gillett?
$100. Mike, you require 8.
Real double trouble here. Have absolute control
No score.
of this leg. He left a
Jack,
double.
you require 50.
Jack was still on 208. And again, inexperience. You got a big target the other side of the board. Aim for the wire between
15.
the 10 and the 6, because either side
Mike,
either
you
leaves you
require
tops
8.
or double 18.
A double 4 still for Mike Gillett.
Game shot and the
I mean, it's
first
probably
leg.
the ropiest
Mike
he's thrown out of the
Gillett.
lot, but it's found its way in. And he leads 1-0 after a dozen attempts at that double.
Second leg is
Or
Jack
at
to
a
throw
double, should I
first.
say.
Game
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, what you said, actually, I was having a good old chat with Bobby George at one of the recent World Seniors events. And he said that he's
100.
drafted up this method of ways to go, aimed more at amateur players.
Yes,
And-
yes, I spoke to him about it, and it's fascinating.
Often it means
96.
that if you're going for a treble, that you miss it, you leave 46. 2 darts left, and you've got that 6 and 10 target.
Yeah.
36.
Or the 16s and 8s on the other side.
Yeah, and of course on your combination shots as well to
93.
not leave yourself in a situation where there's no treble on the board that will ultimately leave a double in that visit.
93.
Bobby, just watch a lot of
140.
the Super Series. I was having a good catch up with him at the Circus Tavern for the Ward Seniors.
140.
Yeah, he loves it. He's Mr. Darts, isn't he?
There he is.
60. Jack, you require 132.
Right, we saw him yesterday go for treble 20 on this, and we said, no, he should be going for the bullseye, and it looks like he's watched back and listened.
49. Mike, you require 112.
You do get an incredible amount of feedback from the coverage, especially from the players. Especially the players that are fairly new
88.
to
Jack,
TV
you require
darts.
83.
Don't get the opportunity to analyse certain aspects of the game.
36. Mike, you require 24.
Double 12. Less drama this time.
Game shot in the second
Mike
leg.
Gillett.
Wasn't a
Mike
dirty
Gillett.
dozen there.
Was it? Divine double dozen.
The Super 16.
Third leg is Mike to throw
It
first.
was a
Game
16
on.
darter for 2-0.
$96.
I'm going to have to come clean here because Mike Gillett might be heading towards a 4-0
140.
victory. We called Cam Crabtree as through at the end of the last match, having won 3 legs. On closer inspection, and apologies
80.
to Cam Crabtree fans, there is one ridiculous set of results that could see him go out.
I stared at it for
140.
10 minutes and made notes, wrote it down, and I still couldn't work it out.
Yeah, so it would be Gillett winning 4-0 here.
60.
He'd also have to beat Cam Crabtree 4-0 in the last match, which I think is, out of the 3 possible permutations, the most unlikely
140.
outcome. And then Adrian Contement and Sean McDonald would have to finish 4-2 in favour of Contement.
57. Jack, you require
Jack looking
81.
good here to win this leg. He's averaging 84. Ooh.
Game shot
And
in the
takes
third
the
leg.
ball.
Jack Hill.
Decided to go aggressive.
Yeah, just to confirm, it's the margin of
Fourth
victory
leg
for
is
Gillett
Jack
in
to
this
throw
particular
first.
match
Game on.
wouldn't matter. So that one leg before people get excited for Crabtree doesn't yet put him through.
41.
Gillett actually is on a better leg difference than Paddy and Consummate.
Yeah.
180.
If he wins by a 3-leg margin, he'll be on the same leg difference as Sean McDonald.
60. $123. $55.
Well, now it's just about getting the win. good to see that Hill did get that leg on the board. It would have been,
98.
I think, a little bit deflating for him not to have even picked up one.
Yeah, it's
96.
just one
Mike,
of those,
you require
one of those
100.
scenarios where he's been literally thrown in at the deep end.
60.
But he's been thrown at the deep end through winning.
51.
Well, tops for a
Mike, you
13
require
darter here.
40. Game shot and the fourth
After
leg.
the early double
Mike
trouble, it's
Gillett.
been all good from Gillett. 3-1 now, the lead.
Yeah, he's not missed one since.
Fifth leg, it's Mike to throw first. Game on.
Well, you can try, Jack, but that won't wash, mate.
No, he won't get away with that one here.
59. $180.
Well, you've got an 81 on the ball for a highlight reel and another max.
95.
Well, I was about to say that we had a 9-dart attempt out of nowhere yesterday. That really would have been out
60.
of nowhere, wouldn't it? But look what it potentially did for the man that had the attempt, because it was Carl Hamilton.
Yes. And that was in the final match of the Thursday session, wasn't it?
60.
And it was a fairly nothingy game, wasn't it?
Yeah, against Kevin Painter, who he goes through to finals night with. Looking back,
83.
and Painter lost that match. He wouldn't be here on Saturday. I mean, you can pick any game, can't you? But just interesting.
140.
We thought that would be his highlight. Turned out that today he had plenty of them and won all 5 matches. Again, we find ourselves
44.
talking about a 9-darter and then
Mike, you require 147.
looking at a 147.
Yeah, the snooker gods are staring down on us.
100. Jack, you require 134.
134 for Hill. Well, you mentioned about Sean Murphy's claim that he got a 9-darter early this afternoon. There's also a claim about
94.
Gary Anderson getting a 147. Is that just
Mike, you require
for the birds?
47.
Yes, I think that's another one of those myths. Put it this way, I've never heard Gary Anderson say it.
There we go.
Game, shot,
And there we go.
and the match.
In terms
Mike
of
Gillett.
this match, Jack Hill bows out of his maiden appearance at the MODUS Super Series, the ADC qualifier. Didn't manage to pick up a win. Got a leg on the board against Gillett in that one. But it is Gillett who picks up the victory and carries on this ridiculously close group. A 4-1 win for him. He actually moves provisionally into 3rd place ahead of Arian Konterman on leg difference, but Konterman has the chance to hit back when he takes on Sean McDonald next. Do stay with us.
Every Saturday, we open our doors for our weekly finals night.
For a unique and intimate darts experience.
Meet the Dart Stars and even the team off the telly
Here at our purpose-built venue in Portsmouth.
every single Saturday evening.
Tickets can be booked via this QR code.
Or at www.dartshop.tv for a very small booking fee.
Follow us at MSS Darts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok.
For all the latest ticketing news.
All you need to do, log on, book, turn up, and the action gets underway from 7:30 p.m.
So what are you waiting for?
Get your tickets to the darts.
We look forward to welcoming you to the MODUS Super Series very soon.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series on a head-scratching evening's action here in Group B, because quite simply anything could happen in our next couple of matches, and that begins with Iron Continent up against Sean McDonald. Chris Murphy, Chris Mason, I hope you bought 2 abacuses for this one.
No, just giving up trying, Henry. I think that's my new MO. But the players haven't given up trying. They're fighting it out. And the 4 players that remain in action tonight, having seen Jack Hill depart, are all still in with a chance of being in or being out. It is...
Well, we still have that bizarre scenario where we can end up with the top 4 all on 10 points.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So we know, based on that 12 points is enough. Sean McDonald is already on 10 points. So if he wins this match, he goes through.
And takes...
Cam Crabtree with him.
Yeah.
Because Iron Continent is playing his last match and would stay on 8.
First leg is Ariane to throw first. Game on.
What's he behind Mike Gillett? He is
4 currently,
behind,
so
isn't he? So
if he
131.
McDonald wins, all 1 or better.
I think any win would wrap it all up, wouldn't it?
100.
Let me check.
Yes, because he would go to mine. He would go. Yeah, he would. Even if it was 4-3, it'd be 5 the swing. So
Yeah.
100.
Yeah, we do apologise having to work it out on the fly, but a McDonald win, I'm pretty confident in saying, would sort everything out.
yeah.
43.
So Continent wins then.
Yeah, and if he wins 4-2, then there's still a possibility that Cam Crabtree, who we thought was through,
140.
he would have to lose 4-0 to Mike Gillett. And Cam Crabtree hasn't been losing matches 4-0.
$180.
Murph?
Ariane, you require 130.
Yeah, absolutely. Continent, no, that's a good dart for him. Surely gets one at the bull. Does get one at the bull.
90.
Decided against it.
Thankfully, didn't go for it.
You know what? I thought he would as well. That's why I gave it the big build-up. I know McDonald wasn't on a finish, but
I don't think he can afford to take any risks here.
there are some players that will just always go for it now,
90.
particularly at the top level. Van Gerwen, Clayton.
Ariane, you require 40.
When they don't go for it, they're playing mind games.
Game shot in the first leg. Ariane
Van Gerwen in
Continent.
particular, as Continent, his fellow Dutchman, does win the first leg, he will go for it when his opponent's not on
Second
a
leg is
finish, and
Sean
he'll
to
play
throw
it when they are.
first.
Yeah.
Game on.
And he's done an interview, hasn't he, where he said, I'll do it again. He's effectively trying to just plant a seed in the mind of his
59.
opponent.
$140.
The first leg goes away of Continent, but this is obviously a 180. Oh, Sean, you let me down.
140.
Mystic Murph's crystal ball needs a...
Yeah, do you still want those lottery numbers?
43.
I did once dream, of winning the lottery. I don't bet in any way, shape or form anymore, but I was once
56.
holding a lottery ticket and the first 4 numbers came out.
Oh, my. Yeah, I haven't done that.
And it was a moment where I'm thinking...
59.
Felt like a almost out-of-body experience where you're thinking... It was the first 4, it wasn't,
Yeah.
And I just stood there thinking, please, 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 and...
I haven't done it
I think
for
I won
years.
60 quid, mate.
58.
know a few people who've won big money
85.
2 or 3 times on it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, when I used to do it years ago, I'd never even come close to a tenner.
$58.
McDonald trying to come close to Conterman here, but you would say it's still the Dutchman's advantage. He'll go downstairs.
54.
Well, he's only 10 points
Sean
better off
Iroquois,
now.
130.
I know which one I'd rather be going at, and it's not this one.
And we've spoken about when his first start's good,
74.
how good the next 2 are. But when the first
Ariane
start's
Iroquois,
wrong,
120.
then you have to start to change and adjust. And we've seen that for both players here.
44.
Yep.
Sean
McDonald
Iroquois,
went right,
56.
and Conterman went left.
Game shot in the second leg.
Starts at double
Sean
so
McDonald.
far. 2 legs in, 2 darts at a double. Both of them hit.
Third leg is Ariane to throw first. Game on.
So a reminder, we're in a almost uncharted territory in Group B, where with
41.
2 matches to play, we haven't even confirmed a single player through. I can't remember that happening before.
No. No,
58.
there's been a few scenarios where we've had the 1 not through, or maybe rarely 2, but not for the
85.
scenarios we have here.
Sean McDonald does manage to win this match. That's it. We'll have 3 through at the end of it. He gets 3 in there, no problem at all.
180.
Conterman would be at least 5 legs adrift, so even if Mike get it above him to lose 4-0 in the last match, he couldn't go through. So it is do or die for Ariane Conterman. And that is why hitting back like that is so important.
139. $43. Sean Iroquois,
Left himself a bit to
124.
do here.
$92. Ariane
Start
Iroquois,
to
152.
Well, I say it's been a week of incredible finishing.
100. Sean Iroquois,
Conterman
32.
had to have his throw broke.
Double 8.
Game shot in the third leg. Sean McDonald.
Well, just going back to that crazy scenario from earlier, there's now no margin for error
Fourth leg is Sean to throw
For
first.
Conterman.
Game on.
for the sake of Cam Crabtree. So if McDonald wins this leg, Crabtree goes through. Or 1 more leg. And that's a great start to it. If he wins 2 more legs, he goes through as well. And so does Mike Gillett. And this man goes out and he will
125.
look back at moments, won't he? Because he had moments in Group A and he's had moments in Group B.
Damage was done when you compare performance levels from tonight to last night. That was, he had an absolute disaster last night.
33.
And that's where it's been costly. Sometimes you can get away with it.
45.
But also, I mean, we saw it in Group A. He lost to Landman, that blockbuster 129 checkout that defeated him. He would have gone top at that point. He absolutely crashed for the next couple of games. He still could have finished top from that point because Kevin Painter,
134.
after that, beat Landman heavily. So it's the way that he's reacted to
85.
defeats.
Sean, you require 154. $56. $85. Sean, you require 98.
So for 3-1.
$82. Ariane, you require 161.
That would have been the biggest checkout of the week, no doubt.
89. Sean, you
Had a
require
170, but in
16.
terms of size, the 161 would have been huge. Instead, it's 16 for McDonald.
Game shot in the fourth leg.
And that's it.
Sean McDonald.
That is an important leg in the context of this group.
Fifth leg is Ariane to throw first. Game on.
It means that finally we
59.
can say that Cam Crabtree is through.
$85.
I'm pretty certain it also means McDonald's through.
125.
If Conterman wins this one from here, he will go on to 10 points and
140.
+4
He'd still need Cam Crabtree
to beat
Mike Gillett and to beat him.
45.
4-0.
No apologies, just to beat him, wouldn't it? Because
Yes.
Gillett hasn't got the points yet. So, still fighting. But McDonald and Crabtree are through. They are safe. I can confirm.
140.
Put every possible permutation into the calculator.
I think quantum physics is a little
64.
easier.
Sean,
than
you require
working this out.
136.
Well, it's not looking like Conterman is going to be able to even create those scenarios we were talking about.
58.
And don't forget the other thing that we mentioned earlier on. If McDonald wins this match, that means that Mike Gillett is through without having to beat Cam Crabtree because
42.
he can't lose enough legs
Sean,
to
you
fall out
require
of the top
78.
No, there'd be a 5 difference between himself and Conterman.
So after all that,
54.
I was going to say it's all sorted, but this group's been too tricky for that. Well, there's a little check of the score here. Is he suggesting, did he think that he'd left a finish and he hadn't? It wasn't by a miscount, it was by a misthrow, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that
126.
Really hurts them when you step up, doesn't it?
Sean, you require
2 12s, 20s
24.
that could have been in a combination. 6.
Game,
And
shot,
that
and the
is
match.
that.
Sean McDonald.
A 4-1 win for Sean McDonald. Relief for him. Relief for Cam Crabtree. Relief for Mike Gillett. Relief for me. And for Mace alongside me. We can put our fingers and toes away and put our socks and shoes back on. Sean McDonald, a 4-1 winner. Arian Conterman falls short. And McDonald goes through ahead of the final match of the evening. Cam Crabtree and Mike Gillett can play in the knowledge that they are both safely through to finals night, along with Sean McDonald.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where Sean McDonald has sealed a 4-1 success against Ian Kontman. And, well, after all that, we are safe in the knowledge of knowing the three that were... Well, that was a fun, stressful, dramatic evening, wasn't it? So let's finish off with Crabtree against Gill. Let's get everything fair and everything square. Boys, put the abacus away.
Actually, Henry, hang on a minute, because we have just come across a scenario. I have to apologise. If Cam Crabtree wins this match 8-0, then Mike Gillett would be out. No, everything is sorted, everything is safe. It's McDonald, Crabtree, Gillett. What could change, of course, is the order in this group. Crabtree could actually still finish first or third, because if he loses, Gillett will go on the same points, but he'll put legs on himself, take legs off Crabtree.
First leg, it's Cam to throw first.
He's
Game
a couple of
on.
legs behind McDonald, so if he wins by a couple, he could find himself going ahead of Sean McDonald. But the main thing is, we know
140.
the 6 players through the finals night, and now we've got them, Chris. You know what the next question is, don't you?
My brain's only just got grey matter
43.
oozing out of my ears after trying to work that lot out. What I want to know is, what odds was Sean McDonald to win
57.
this Group B before the off tonight?
Yeah, we looked at... in fact, I think I'll be able to find out for you, because we did
83.
show the the slides earlier on, didn't we?
Yeah.
Of the betting, and Sean McDonald was 11-4.
68.
Not quite a 40-1.
No, that was Arjen Konterman, but he has fallen 40-1 this afternoon for Carl Hamilton.
61.
I mean, he goes in on a roll, doesn't he? We're talking about potential winners on finals. Like Chris Landman, obviously, will end up being the favourite. Cam Crabtree showed that he can play at that level.
Yeah, I think they'll go Landman, Crabtree. Possibly
83.
McDonald if he does go on to win this group.
Well, if I've still got a job tomorrow after getting everything wrong tonight, I will ask you on the balcony at the start of the show, give you a chance to sleep over.
You didn't get anything wrong. He's through.
Yeah, just predict a great prediction.
26. Cam, you require 120.
120. You know what I don't think we see enough of? Maybe it's
40.
just the sort of maverick in me and the viewer. I think in situations like that, when you're both through, and he blocked the treble 20 a bit, why not just treat us to a couple of bullseyes?
84. Cam, you require
Simon
80.
Whitlock's game, that.
Even then, Cody Sosa, go tops.
75.
Well, he might have ended up in a better
Mike,
position
you
if he
require
had.
121.
I agree.
Well, that's got a little bit lucky, hasn't it?
Maybe he was going to go bull, treble 7, bull.
Seen that before
Yeah.
from Aaron Monk. And after getting a little lucky, he's found the treble. Now he needs a bull.
96.
Well, there was a smile from Cam in the background as if to say,
Cam, you require 5.
you get away with that. Fair play.
Game shot in the first leg. Cam Crabtree.
Well, he gets the leg in the ledger. It's going to be a right friendly game of darts, though. So we kind of saw something similar
Second leg, it's Mike
at
to
the
throw
end of
first.
last night
Game
when
on.
Crabtree was playing. In fact, I think it was earlier in the night, wasn't it? He had a game with Arjen Konterman, his penultimate
55.
game, and there was a right sort of good camaraderie on the stage.
Yeah, there's some good interaction between the players.
140.
I think we can kind of see that now. I mean, they are going to be a pair of relief players. Who would have thought we'd be using the word relief to describe Cam Crabtree tonight?
81.
Gillett that was in a bit of a situation, wasn't it? And that was down to
85.
losing a game that, after what we saw last night, we didn't expect Konterman really to defeat Gillett.
I mean, we've ended up with the 3 players that start the night in the top 3 in the top 3.
140.
The order.
I mean, he was in a world of trouble. 3-0 down to McDonald, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the moment, really, wasn't it? The defining moment.
180.
All stemming from the one shot we mentioned, the 102.
43. Cam, you require 96.
Well, this could be an 11 darter. Not now.
56.
And that time I assume he did go double-double. I think it was a pretty safe attempt at the double 19.
96.
Maybe he was just...
Cam, you require 40.
What's the point in doing anything other? He's not on a finish. I'll just leave tops.
Yeah, it was too much for the middle, and there's better options for a double-double scenario. The double 18 and tops.
No score.
Doesn't get the tops in the end.
Mike, you require 86.
So Gillett looking at treble 18. Well, now probably treble 14.
Yeah, it's the bigger target.
34.
Twice the size of the ball.
Cam, you require 40.
Double 10.
30.
Well, it started fun, but it's gone a bit flat.
Mike, you require 52.
And after all the energy they were putting in to play at what's effectively a dead rubber at the end, might be a reason why.
Well, they'll both be not only physically
42.
drained, but
Cam, you
well, I
require
know
10.
how I feel. And I'm not even out there. Imagine them trying to work it out themselves.
Yeah, they don't have commentary in the practice room.
Game
Thank
shot in the
goodness,
second
because
leg. Cam
Cam Crabtree
Crabtree.
through 3 times tonight.
We're going to put me through at one stage. Everyone else was going through except Jack Hill.
Third leg, it's Cam to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, I couldn't find a scenario for him. Yeah, Jack Hill.
140.
On him, Mace. He hasn't managed to win a match, but
Well, for someone who's been playing for such a short space of time and only playing in sort of pubs and bit of Super
58.
League and then into the ADC to, you know, that's like going from driving a milk float to getting a go in Max Verstappen's Formula 1 cars.
137.
They're incomparable in terms of levels and
121.
just the pressure of playing under the lights. Isn't it? Affects some of the really good players who've been doing it for 10 plus years. So
119.
and I'm sure there'll be a few saying they can do better. Well, you got the chance to do it.
Exactly.
60.
Is there any ADC competition? You can get yourself some
105.
ranking points. The vault competitions will.
Yeah, it's
Get
all
you
over the
through.
social medias. Just search Amateur Dart Circuit or ADC and have a look on Darts Atlas and enter and come and show us. More the merrier.
We've had both ends of the scope. We've
29.
had Jack Hill, you know, thrown in front of the cameras so quickly in his career. It'll be an experience that'll certainly harden him up. We've also had the likes of Adam Warner, who's gone on to win his week as an ADC qualifier, one that hadn't been heard of really before
23.
by anyone outside the
Cam,
university.
you require
dice.
Exactly, yeah.
76.
And now he's got a tour card. Professional player.
And came within a whisker
68.
of beating Michael Smith the other week, who then went on to win the whole thing.
Yeah, playing on stage in front of about 3,000 people against the world number one world champion
121.
and missing match darts.
Cam, you require 8. Game shot in
We've
the
only got to
third
go back
leg.
a
Cam
week for
Crabtree.
Stephen Johnston, and he seemed to just completely embrace it. Where it was a struggle.
Fourth
for
leg,
Jack,
it's Mike
but-
to
Yeah,
throw
what was disappointing
first.
though was that he
Game on.
improved game on game last night, didn't he? In terms of performance and scoreline, it was
But-
4-0, 4-1, 4-2, 4-3.
But I think the players hit him
83.
harder and earlier tonight.
$58.
It's starting to look like in the end it
81.
will end the way it started. Cam Crabtree in position 1, Sean McDonald second, and Mike Gillett third.
99.
Yeah, he has to win 4-2 or better.
83.
Yep, you're spot on there, Mace.
55.
Broken clocks right twice a day.
It's only early yet.
100.
Well, Gillett trying to avoid a whitewash. Crabtree trying to secure top spot. And we'll get a look at the end of the evening. At the
100.
groups
Mike, you require
for finals
154.
night. Another in there. Lovely darts.
134. 60. Mike, you require 20. Game shot on the fourth leg.
Will
Mike
not be beaten
Gillett.
to nil. Chris Mason
Fifth leg,
has
it's
just
Cam to throw first. Game on.
headed upstairs to reflect on the night with Henry. So you could yet be stuck with me
99.
for 3 more legs.
$60.
All
$94.
that is left to be decided is the order in this group. Suddenly Mike Gillett has found something.
180. $98.
Carl Hamilton and Kevin Painter through this afternoon. Chris Landman through from Group A, this pair, and Sean McDonald through
66.
from Group B tonight. Reminder that the finals night action gets underway at 7:30.
60.
The group games will be shown exclusively on the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel. And then from 10 p.m, the big one,
95.
semis and final live on Sporty Stuff
Camera require
TV.
150.
Viewers around the world can continue watching on YouTube as well.
77. Mike, you require 100.
Well, a smile on his face. He wants to go for a couple of balls, doesn't he? He won't, though. He's too nice. He'll go that way instead.
90.
But he's unable to execute the outshot, so that might mean
Cam, you require
that it's game up.
73.
It's 2 darts for a 4-1 win,
Game,
and he only needs
shot,
one.
and the
Cam
match,
Crabtree,
Cam Crabtree.
by virtue of that victory over Mike Gillett, he does end at the top of the Group B table. A 4-1 success. Thought the game was a little flat at times, but both players, after putting so much energy into this extremely close race to qualify, maybe felt like they had released too much, but it was relief in the end for Mike Gillett. He goes through in 3rd place. Sean McDonald with him, and the winner of that match, Cam Crabtree, your group winner. And to reflect on what has been a real race to the finish, Chris Mason has joined Henry Deacon.
Yeah, thank you very much, Murph. Recovered yet?
Well, all that messing about, and we've just ended up how we started.
We didn't have to do all that.
No, it was dramatic. It was enjoyable. We got to learn a little bit more about the players and where they are right now in terms of form. And yeah, it's 1:30 in the morning. I'm done.
You know, we have all these Dutch players, but Cam Crabtree is causing us all sorts of problems. Well, he caused Group B all sorts of problems as well, because he was the man who, in the end, topped the pile by 1 leg on the legs difference bracket.
Yeah, and of course it will make a difference into the groups he will fall into for Saturday night's final. So it'll be interesting to take a look at those.
What did you make of Sean McDonald? On both nights, he's picked up 3 wins from 4.
Yeah, and much better tonight in terms of levels of performance. Still that typical gritty Sean McDonald style, but he just added a bit of finesse to it tonight.
As for Mike Gillett, solid, isn't he?
Yeah, he's steady away. If you don't play well against him, he will give you all sorts of dramas, and then every now and again he finds another gear. So as we've seen, experience tells us that nothing is a foregone conclusion on finals night.
As for Ian Compton, improved even this evening, but the damage was really done on night 1.
Yeah, if he'd have just picked up maybe just 1 win from last night where he was just all over the place. But he just got to take the positives from that, and it was good to see him respond well and throw some good stuff.
I had a little chat with Jack Hill just after his final match this evening. Obviously a little bit disappointed with the way tonight.
You trying to give him some counselling? My God. I better go and have a word with him, haven't I?
But he said, you know, it was nice to have the experience, but maybe just a little bit too soon, and maybe you wanted a bit more competition time.
But yeah, that's the danger, isn't it? If you're good enough to qualify, you're good enough to be here. That's it. The criteria is set on how you qualify. Listen, he's done well to qualify. He's got more experience than the vast majority of people that he'll be going back and playing alongside again. So, you know, there's nothing but positive things to take if you put them in the right scenario. And he's an absolute beginner, and that showed. But at least he's learned a lot more about the game. You know, he's had 8 matches under the lights. I don't think I played 8 times on TV in the first 2 years of deciding I wanted to be a pro player.
You have to use this now as a learning curve.
Absolutely.
So let's have a look and see how tomorrow night shapes up then at the Super Series. Finals night tomorrow. Group 1, well, Chris Lamb, Kevin Painter, Sean McDonald. That is a horrid-looking group.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. It isn't pleasant, and my worry is the fitness of Kevin Painter. He is in all sorts of agony. He's got a massive shoulder problem, which is now beginning to impact the right side. So, fingers crossed, he's had a good rest tonight and rest up all day tomorrow. Get a load of painkillers into him, and hopefully he can perform.
As for Mike Gillett, he's going to have the advantage of pretty much a home crowd here tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that's one good thing. Well, at least we know we're going to get a fair few in tomorrow. Equally, that Group 2 is messy. Carl Hamilton will be absolutely buzzing how he played today, winning 5 from 5. Cam's finished top of the table. I don't think he lacks any confidence. And Mike Gillett will just go up there with an open mind. He's a shrewd player.
Looking forward to it tomorrow night, aren't we?
Very much so.
Should be good fun. I think we need some shut-eye now after the carnage, don't we?
Yeah, I'll probably just about wake up before we go on air tomorrow.
Well, Murph set me a challenge midway through the programme to try and say something. I'm going to give it a good go as we sign off. As Croydon's Cam Crabtree... I didn't do it, did I? Cam Crabtree is the winner of Group B. You know what? We'll just leave it there. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.